One shall stand, and one shall fall.
Yeah. New kids on the block, we here making it pop. Don't care if you like it or not. The spot we want is the top. The head nerds in charge and I foresee to making things happen. If you think you heard what you thought you heard, go ahead and play that thing back. Coming out the speakers in the car in the man cave. The mother bus is about to be knocked off the airwaves. So be very afraid. Better check your gameplay. Sitting on all that and finna take away your fan base. The stage is set. Better put respect up on our name. What you get right now, you get it later. A consistent game, a steady dosage. Once you started, you can't get enough. The people's chant ain't a topic we ain't finna touch. So bring your A game, cause the boys behind the mic finna do the same thing. One time for the one time, let it off like bang bang. We aiming to be the greatest. We accepting any challenge. With a snap of the finger, bringing balance. Let's make it happen. You tuned in to the place to be. You tuned in to HNIC.
Head nerds in charge.
You tuned in to the place to be. You tuned in to HNIC.
Forget about the way it used to be. This is not a damn democracy. We are in a state of emergency, and my word is law. There's only one boss in this place, and that's me. The HNIC.
We are 50 shows in. Yeah! Early.
That's not
Yo,
fair.
I'm so mad that y'all get annoyed with me using the hype button. It's gonna happen.
I'm just mad because I wanted to push it.
Well, hold on.
I wanted to be the button slapper.
We just
Okay, I'm done.
So you feel better about yourself now?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think you should save that for every time you make a terrible joke, and it's dead silence, and just continuously slap that.
It
That
makes
would
it
be
less
the whole
Like
awkward.
now.
that would be the
Listen, we are at episode 50, which is so crazy. This is King Kurt live, coming live and direct with the head nerds in charge. And to the left of me, we have...
Sassy, well, I can't say that.
Yeah, I'm about to say. You started to say Sassy Neko, and I was about to be like, what happened?
An embarrassing moment when you forget your own name.
Yeah. What is it, yokai?
Yokai Sassy. However, now I think that's going to have to be in transition again because technically in the Japanese language, the correct term would have been Oni instead of yokai for demon. So it's supposed to be like a succubus demon thing. And it falls under the category of yokai, but I'm kind of, we'll see.
So you want to be...
I want to be accurate, so
demon
I might
succubus.
have to change that. Yes.
You need Jesus.
Hey, think of it this way: she's sinfully good looking.
Sean is going to be inappropriately nasty for the remainder of these 50, for our 50th episode.
Happy anniversary.
And to the left of Sassy, a little bit less succubus and a little bit more pole dancing, but still freaks in the sheets. Go ahead. Introduce yourself to the people.
It's at Tuffy Wonder here, the Lone Wonder clone, kicking it again with the head nerds in charge. So excited to be here for your 1 year anniversary.
Yo, and that I forgot all about that.
Doesn't feel like
I know a year went by dumb fast.
Yeah,
Dumb fast.
feels like a couple of months.
Yo, and honestly, we're still not big time. Kinda. But a year went by like a blur. And I think when we started this, I don't think we expected to really be here a year later.
No, I didn't expect it to be here a year later. I definitely didn't.
Oh, so you
think
had
that
no
was-
faith in us?
I had no faith in me actually being able to do
makes
this
sense.
that long. But so you're okay with that? But you
Because I love you. Yo, because we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about when Sassy first came on, when Tef first came on, Sean's first time hosting, and filling in. We're going to recap so many different things because so many wonderful people have come through. We've had a lot of changes. We've had a lot of ups and downs and struggles, but one of the big things that we want to kind of leave everybody with is whatever your passion is, your craft, your thing, put it out there. Don't worry about whether you got the right equipment or not. Just start. and you'd be surprised what you can do within a year. But before I get all mushy and we bring in the cake, we have a special guest, and actually we have a couple special guests. One you're going to meet a little bit later, all the way from Atlanta, but that's a whole nother conversation because, that's my town. Everybody, if you're from Atlanta and you watching, just know, one day I'm coming. I'm getting up out of Philadelphia. But for right now, we have my man right up the street in Phoenixville, Mr. Sean Meehan. Please introduce yourself to the people.
It is the most questionable entertainer that you are ever going to feast your eyes on. It is me, Sean. What do? I do questionable things. Entertain, make dirty jokes, make people laugh and feel uncomfortable. Why, yes, and more. Stay tuned for action.
You're like a terrible DBZ announcer. Next on Dragon Ball Z.
I think myself as a very bad strip club announcer.
Wow. Very
No, listen. And coming down center stage, it's King Bundy, also known as King Kurt.
Why do I gotta be the one stripping? That's it. Tef is the pole dancer.
No, it had to be you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We agree.
Oni.
Because
Yokai, Yakitori?
Oh my God, you
What they call it?
you remind me of my uncle when he tries to talk about Pokemon and he's just like the Pokemans.
Yes.
hang on, Sassy.
Don't
gonna-
disrespect me. Don't disrespect me
So-
on air.
Sorry.
I have to say this because I love.
What did you say, Uncle Kurt? You're a trash bag. Yo, you not refer to me as Uncle. That is so creepy.
Do you want Grandpa?
Yeah,
That's what she's calling you.
What?
before.
Yeah.
Grandpa
Grandpa
Kurt.
Kurt.
You upgraded. But I like Grandpa Kurt better. so
I
I'm
went
gonna
from
keep
the
calling
nasty
you
grandpa to the creepy uncle.
Okay, well now you Grandpa Kurt again because you just got a demotion. See, that was an appropriate time.
Get your filthy hands off my
Button's starting to
button.
catch you in the tub too.
We are not sharing the hype button. It's officially Kurt's.
Okay, Grandpa.
So we got Sean, we got Tef, we got Sassy. We have, of course, my illustrious self. We got Don the Magic Wand on the wheels and steels and the ones and twos, keeping us locked with the stream. If you're on Twitch and YouTube, hit the subscribe button because we need money. And this is how we generate our revenue. Stop playing with us. Pay what you owe. We also have another special guest that'll be joining us a little bit later. But what we wanted to do is, although this show should be about us, it was kind of a poppin' weekend because San Diego Comic-Con always drops Easter eggs.
Oh, that little thing?
Well, they didn't even do a panel last year, so this year they just rolled out all the stuff.
Yeah, they basically was just like, here it is, and you're gonna take all of it. And we're gonna talk about some of the things. Yeah, you use your imagination. what that was in reference to? Oh, did you stick your tongue out with that? Wait, did y'all see that? Did you really stick your tongue out with that one? Huh?
Oh, San Diego Comic
Listen, I know you stuck your tongue out because Sean's beat red. Listen, Sean turned beat red. He was like, well now. yo, Kai Tef.
I'm done with you.
I don't even know. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name.
I mean, it's a wonder for a reason.
Oh,
Bum, bum, bum.
the Wonder Twin.
That button is my new best.
That button is amazing. Hey, yo, big shout out to Mayhem. We appreciate you. Livy, we appreciate you for sending us this amazing button. Not the candy that you sent. I am not happy about that
you know
at all.
what? Funny story. So my dad actually found one of them on the
No!
floor. Sitting here. It was an orange one, and he dropped it on the table and was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, I told him that we were going to be finding these all over the place afterwards, and he's just like, I
Awesome.
touched it, and I was like, "Ugh."
So basically, your pop found a candy wang.
Yes, he found it.
Well,
That was an awkward conversation.
I can
I'm
almost
just
imagine
like,
it being awkward.
Okay, so I told them this was going to happen, but they did
You
it anyway.
you did forewarn him that there would be candy penises sprinkled about.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we won't have a place to do this show much longer, but what we're going to talk about is SDCC. We're going to start off with Marvel because obviously Marvel kind of sets the tone for everything else. And since I can't accurately say this person's name, because we just went over it twice, and I've already forgot how to say his name properly. Because you know what? We're not professionals. At least I'm not. How you say his name, Tef?
Mahershala Ali.
It should be Marsala. I swear. It's Marsala.
I like Marsala though.
I know, it's delicious.
It's Mahershala.
Mahershala.
It sounds exactly how it's spelled.
I sounded out to say Marsala. Personally.
Well, that's because you can't read.
That's been duly noted over the 50 episodes. Education. You know what? I think I'm gonna get that on a shirt. It's the public school education. Philly all day. What? Martin Luther King high? Why y'all say it like that? That is a beautiful.
I don't even rep my school.
No, what school did you go to?
John Bartram.
We went to Bartram. You can't talk. Tap, where'd you go graduate from?
I graduated from school in Florida.
Oh, all right. Well, you don't even count. And Sean, you're white. You didn't go anywhere in public public school.
Yeah, I did.
You wait. Whoa. Hold on. I got to be like the meme. Wait. You went to a public school in Philadelphia?
Briefly, yeah.
Why did all the black people like briefly? He scoffed.
My family was raised on Simon Gratz.
What? You went to Gratz?
My family did, yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My family, yeah.
So Sean comes from a long line of thugs.
I mean, they were the only white people left in Nicetown.
I almost am positive that was the case if your family was going to Gratz. If you have a lineage of Gratz and you're Caucasian, you have to have one of the most gangster families to stick around Nicetown.
No, my public schools was out in the boonies where if you are black, you're the only black person in school and you are everyone's token black friend.
Strange fruit on the poplar tree. No, because you know what the funny thing is? I always loved Dave Chappelle's stand-up when he said, you got to watch the one white dude in a group full of black people because you don't know what he did to get them dudes respect. Yeah. So that's the boy you don't mess with. And you don't mess with Marvel because Marvel basically said, y'all think DC out here doing something special. Y'all think Aquaman was cute, you know? You're trying to bring back the Joker, and you got the boy from Twilight as your little Batman. Well, here, let's drop these 10 bombs on you real quick. Starting off with Mahershala.
There's no.
Starting off with Shamalama Ding Dong Ali as the new Blade. The new Blade officially. They are bringing back and rebooting Blade, and what's most gangster about it is after Mahershala won his Oscar for The Green Book.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It is rumored that it's official.
He confirmed that.
It's a fact? It's a fact.
Yes.
Facts.
He won his Oscar and called them and was like, so listen, I want to play Blade. And Kevin Feige was like, that's fine.
Because you don't turn down a black man with an Oscar.
Look, he was great in Luke Cage.
He was. He played cop.
Well, now, okay, so I'm going to take my hat off for this one. Because I have a rant, and I just want to be quick about it.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
Yeah. Here's my thing. Number one, he was phenomenal as Cottonmouth, and I'm not going to be long-winded about this, but I just want to kick this little bit of science. How this casting has long-term ramifications for anything that happened on Netflix. By doing this essentially disconnects everything that Netflix did with the MCU. So Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, oh, come on. Iron Fist, come on, what was the one? And Punisher, Defenders, and come on, that's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of black guy, white girl, Friends. Oh yeah, Cloak and Dagger. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's Hulu.
I couldn't even pull that.
That's on Freeform. That's on ABC.
I thought that was Netflix.
It's not. It's on Freeform.
Okay. All right. So
it's them and the Runaways on ABC.
Yeah.
Right. I always can forget where some of Marvel properties are, but because they now have recasted an actor into a new role in the MCU when we have already known him as Cottonmouth. You basically essentially erase it. And I know it's just an actor, not the same character, but go ahead.
Unless they pull a Doctor Who. See, when Doctor Who, when some of the previous actors are canonically in a series and the Doctor turns into one of them, it's because they left an impression. Marvel, and you know how scientific Marvel can get, they can easily do something of, he got Cottonmouth's genes, freak accident, he has that kind of look.
Not gonna.
They can pull something out.
Sean, you reaching with that one. Doctor Who. Wait a minute. Doctor Who Doctor Who is a way different type of science fiction than how Marvel gets based.
I'm just doing my best, okay? I want Luke Cage to be canon.
Let me tell you something. Marvel had nothing to do with the Netflix series. And it's not like that they were hype on them anyway. Marvel was.
Don't take it like they weren't hype. I mean, they kind of were like, it's whatever. Netflix kind of did their best in a way to like tie it into the whole thing, but Marvel wasn't really giving them a lot to go on.
Agree, but that's why I mean, like they weren't hype on it. We've seen what happens when Marvel puts their money, their engine, and their promotion behind something, and we've seen what happens when they pull it. I.e. the X-Men.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, but think about the X-Men. Because they were owned by Fox, they stopped putting them in video games. They stopped doing comic books. They slowed down everything. They said, okay, you're gonna make the money off of it.
They killed them off in the comics for that reason.
So essentially, and the MCU established a whole nother group of people, the Inhumans, before mutants. So all I'm saying is, Mahershala. Mahershala. Wow, I don't know why. And in my brain was like Mahershala.
You like I got it this time.
Are you hungry? Like,
I'm a little peckish. I only had some of the sassy leftovers, but
Mahershala would probably be nice vegetable Mahershala.
Vegetable masala is good.
Yes, it is.
I think it's because I'm hungry. It's fat people stuff.
So anyway, Javier in the chat said there's a petition going around to have Wesley Snipes come in as Whistler, or there's another character. There's a black character in the comics who's Blade's like surrogate father / trainer.
I can see it.
So they want him to come in and do that.
The Jab Splitter.
They kind of redid his. They kind of retconned him and gave him a black mentor.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm 100% okay with Wesley Snipes being Whistler.
Because Stick taught Blade too. Stick taught a lot of characters.
Stick is like Stick is the hero version of Taskmaster. I mean, Stick is basically trained everybody for the long play. Kind of like the boxer Wildcat from DC.
I think the main important question about this Blade reboot is, are they going to include that iconic line about skating uphill?
Nah, stop that.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, and I love what Wesley Snipes says. A lot of people were like, oh, you need to recast Wesley. And Wesley was like, look, by the time they start shooting, I'll probably be close to be 70 years old. I don't need a 70-year-old Blade. I mean, of course, they got Arnold and Sylvester and Bruce Willis running around here, doggone near 80 years old, still blowing stuff up and kicking in doors.
Well, Wesley even gave his official blessing.
Yeah, no. He basically said, make room for the new school.
They're $80 million CGI budgets.
Right.
Oh no, we're not going to do all that.
And Botox. Botox got Sylvester still looking good.
But I thought that he was Wesley Snipes sometimes when I've seen him in other things. Occasionally, I've like accidentally, like if you just turning by something and
is it
because
he's dark skinned?
Then you just kind of like whatever.
Is it because
he's
chocolate?
We're not going to turn it into that. He's a they're the same skin complexion. They both bald. They both got like the same figure going on. Or whatever it is, like a low cut fade, whatever it blends.
Yeah. And what
y'all get what I'm trying to say.
But Sassy, I'm with you because you know what I loved about his Cottonmouth character? He could get so sinister, and his voice parallels somebody who would come from the dark world. You know what I mean? Because it's not like Wesley Snipes had a lot of long dialogue. It was a lot of one-liners, catchy little things, quick things, So it's not even like Mahershala.
Yeah.
You remember. To be honest, I ain't use it because I forgot.
I got scared. I was like, Marsala's food, Mahershala's Oscar winner. Got it. But if y'all see some of the pictures in the fan art, that fan art of him as Blade.
And by Boss Logic, he put it out like in February, and I remember I was like, oh damn, that would be really cool. And
I know that dude for a long time.
Listen,
no, he also did Jamie Foxx and John Boyega too in that same art style, yo. Because they thought it was gonna be Jamie Foxx.
right? I think I seen the John Boyega. I saw the John Boyega one.
Jamie Foxx looked good.
I'm with this recasting. I'm with them rebooting Blade. I hope they do it as a continuation, as basically a fourth movie, as opposed to starting a weekend. But okay, so real quick, do y'all count the first Blade movie as a part of the MCU?
no.
Hold on. I'm gonna take a room vote. We got Don that says yes. Sean, what do you think? Would you think it's canon in the MCU?
The first one can be. I can't vouch for the third one.
I'm not talking about quality. I'm talking about, do you feel as though they are integrated into the MCU?
Honestly, there's room that they can be. There's nothing that makes them stick out that they can't.
Okay.
So they can easily slide it in.
So yes or no?
Yes.
All right, yes. Taff?
I agree with what Sean said. It's not that they can't be integrated, but I'm gonna say no. Like, they came out before the MCU was even thought of, before it was even a thing. To me, Blade by itself stands on its own. Like, I don't need that to be part of the MCU. You can start it fresh and do something new where you can weave it into the current MCU. That's fine, but leave what was what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I hear you. Sassy, what do you think?
I agree with what Tuff said, because first off, for me, I didn't even know until about probably 2 years ago that Blade was even a part of it.
property.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. So, because my mom took me, she used to take me to go see all of the comic book movies when they came out, so that would make sense. But she also liked scary movies and things about vampires, so I thought this was just like another vampire movie.
Right.
And I was really small, so I don't know no better. But I'm not counting it at this point. That was a long time ago.
Now, me personally, and I'm with y'all. Okay, let me preface that.
You have mixed feelings.
No, well, yeah, because I after I heard Teff's explanation and yours, I think about the first time I went to the movies to see Blade, and I was with you. Though I wasn't unfamiliar with the character, I didn't look at it as a Marvel movie because we had known what Marvel movies were.
Right.
Like when they showed the Marvel emblem, it was like, oh, that's cool.
That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. As opposed to when Iron Man, and I'll even go, because a lot of people feel like Iron Man kicks off phase 1 of the MCU, which obviously we know now, but it wasn't until the end credit scene. And this is how I count MCU. This is how I count MCU. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Hold on, we'll talk about that. This is how I count MCU versus Marvel movies that are non-canon. Did it have an end credit scene? Because all the MCU movies had an end credit scene that led to the next thing that was supposed to happen.
That's not necessarily
Did
true.
it?
All right, so give me.
That's not necessarily true. Guardians of the Galaxy didn't have one. The first one.
Yes, they did.
No, it didn't. It had Howard the Duck sitting in the thing.
Yeah. No.
No.
Yeah, it did, because Howard the Duck was in Endgame.
No, but that's not no, that's an Easter egg. That's in no way an indicator of the next one.
It showed the collection. Number one,
No, in the end of the first Guardians of the Galaxy, after he's blew it up, he's just sitting there having a drink.
Right, but it's
that didn't lead into anything. Matter of fact, Kevin Feige came out and said, "Okay, like you guys are so used to getting end credit scenes, just because we give you one doesn't mean it has to lead to anything." So no.
I'll give you I'll give you that. But would you agree having Howard the Duck at that in that end credit scene was a precursor to him being in Endgame? I can't.
I'm going with you with your button.
You say that until you're ready to hit the button.
Yeah. I didn't want you to answer.
Hit the button too now.
Yeah, I didn't really want you to answer. I just wanted to go ahead on stump you and get up out of there. No, but
I missed him in Endgame. I didn't see it.
See, and I knew you did. I knew you didn't want to own up to it. But that's what I'm saying. Because now you see Howard the Duck in Endgame, you're like, oh yeah, we already knew he was in the MCU from. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that it set up the very next thing, but everything would.
But it just set it up as an Easter egg.
Right, but it shows that everything was interconnected.
Okay, that's fine.
And that's the one, and then I misspoke. Not so much as set up the next thing, but it showed everything was interconnected. Right. And that's something that none of the 3 Blade movies ever did.
I don't remember the
they, right.
I said they didn't own the rights.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Speaking of not remembering.
I mean, they had a post-credit scene, but it had no relevance.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We got Siobhan on the chat. She said,
because it was just him in the car.
She said, "Don't mention the 3rd Blade movie. That's like Voldemort. We don't speak its name."
Yeah,
so
in part 3,
in the they have it. Hold on.
Hopping in the car.
No sidebar conversations, please. Thank you.
You know, we're trying to run a professional operation over here. They get a whole sidebar near the mic. But yes. Listen. Siobhan, I'm 100% with you. We don't talk about that 3rd Blade movie.
I don't even remember that
it had
there was
Triple
a third one.
It was Triple H, Ryan Reynolds. But that
My mom didn't take me to see that.
But here's my thing with that. When we saw Ryan Reynolds in Blade 3, we were like, he could be Deadpool. That was one of the y'all can't see Don. Don is literally giving me the finger. Why am I getting
said Hannibal King? I was like, why y'all do him like that?
Why? No. I'm not talking about what we're going.
Hannibal King is a bad mofo. They get down. Like, what is this?
Well, all I'm saying is
Hannibal King was the man.
Ryan Reynolds brought something. Ryan Reynolds is the only bright spot in that movie.
I do not remember. I don't think my mom took me to go see the 3rd one.
Well,
she took me to see the 1st and the 2nd one, but not the 3rd one.
I think the 3rd one. I don't think we saw it in theaters. I think we waited until it came out.
Yeah, that was definitely wait. Order. That was order from Netflix.
Right. No.
Yeah. Remember when you used to order DVDs from Netflix?
You still can.
Well, hold on, because I'm Blockbuster.
All 3, bro.
Listen, you paid for all 3 movies.
And then I realized
it's shameful.
I screwed when he went.
That's a shame.
I didn't know Netflix used to only do that. So they used to only just sell DVDs.
They used to rent DVDs.
So
I didn't
hold on.
need to do any of these
Hold on,
things
I'm gonna give you the quick history lesson of Netflix. There was Blockbuster and West Coast Video back in the day. You used to have to. They have these.
Well, I went to Blockbusters all the time.
I was about to say, Sassy, there's this place called Buildings.
Bye. I remember that in Hollywood Video. I just don't remember the Netflix thing being a part of it.
Hey.
Oh yeah, what they used to do is you would sign up for the subscription and you could either do a 1 DVD, 3 DVD, or 5 DVD subscription, and in any month you could. I remember because I never returned any of the DVDs.
Oh my!
I used to always end up paying that dumb $30. Yeah, Negro. I mean, almost
typical Negro behavior that we'll call.
It's like, you know what it is? It's like Redbox.
Yeah, so it was like that. Look at me learning stuff I didn't know.
So, wow.
So, I know we can hype on this all we can.
At the library.
What else came out?
Nah, we're still talking about Blade because it's about black people. Get out of here. Get out of here, white dude trying to transition on our show. Get out of here. This boy trying to transition out of here. I love it. Sean was like, we've been on this subject too long. Let's get out of here. Nope.
He was trying.
He tried it. He tried it.
That don't include it in the hot topic.
Listen.
It's so long for Wesley to come back.
Hold on.
I don't understand.
And then he got the nerve to sidebar again. Get this dude out of here.
I'm done with you.
No. We get ready to get off this subject. But as far as Blade is concerned, are you excited to see a new rebooted Blade?
1,000%.
Yeah. What about you, Sass?
Yeah, I'm excited. I like who they picked. I'm for it. Let's see what happens.
Sean, what about you?
Oh, of course.
All right. Well, I'm a huge Blade fan. I was a Blade fan from when he was in the animated series with Spider-Man. And if you ever get a chance, he was tracking Morbius. And if they end up putting Morbius in this Blade series,
Morbius is Sony.
No, you'll get better. Now you'll get all those vampire clans from the comic book that are like wrecking shop right now. Then they actually use they can use real Dracula.
Right.
Like
some makeshift Dracula. Nosferatu.
Yeah.
So listen, we didn't jibber jabber enough. We actually have a really cool trailer on deck. One of my all-time favorite independent comic book series. If you haven't heard of it, it's called The Boys. And it literally takes everything we know about comic book, spins it on its head, and then puts it in places where things shouldn't go. I can't fully explain what The Boys is. It's one of those comic books that you just got to read, and it is not for children. But Amazon has greenlit a whole series on it. I don't know how it's legally possible to do some of the things that they did in the comic book in this series, but we're going to show you the trailer, and we're going to cut to that right now.
Superheroes. They swoop out of the sky and save the day. People love that cozy feeling that superheroes give them. I can't stop.
My deepest condolences to Robin's family. She just stepped in the middle of the street. I couldn't.
She was a half step off the fucking curb.
Now, come on, Huey, just don't get upset.
Soups lose hundreds of people each year to collateral damage.
It's fucking diabolical.
They're all like that? All of them.
Yeah, pardon my French, fuck those fuckers. I got the boys together. Join us.
To do what?
Spank the bastards.
For Robin.
I'm in.
Lacing the shoes, I'm on the move. I got so much to prove.
It's suicide to go after the Soups.
We can use help stuffing them.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm just having a bad day. It's a work thing. I'm supposed to be this hero idol symbol, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
She could help us.
She's a soup, just like the rest of them.
You're wrong about her.
Just remember who your friends and who your enemies are.
They just declared war.
You can't do this. You don't have the fight. You never have.
This kid is full of surprises. Well.
It's not what it looks like.
I thought we had an understanding.
I know you're trying to be tough, but
We're superheroes. Who are you?
Yeah, let me tell y'all something. Hype for this series? Wait a minute. Why do you look different?
Hi.
If you might have noticed, folks, Sassy's a little horny. I actually stole that joke from somebody else. It was funny.
You and your dad jokes, they don't hear.
Listen, look, my dad jokes go over well.
With who?
My dad, apparently.
Yes, Art Wharton.
You're
is one
lucky
of
Tough saved you.
Yes, facts. Look, how do you feel about The Boys?
I think it looks cool. Like, I love the whole superheroes in real lives, but they're all terrible people, because I feel like that's what they'd actually be like. This power corrupts. So,
yeah,
I'm here for it.
Unfortunately.
Kind of reminds me of this movie I saw like a couple years back, where it was like teenage boys with like psychic like superpowers, but it was a found footage kind of film.
I know what you're talking about. I remember that.
It was the John.
Yeah.
Hey, my man Al from the look. Y'all gonna meet Al in a little bit, but that's why we bring in knowledgeable geeks, head nerds in charge to help us as we try to look. Yup, all the time. Cheeks are intact thanks to other nerds. No, Chronicle actually was a super dope movie. If you've never seen it, that fight scene with the thunder and the lightning, and oh yeah, that you know what, that's interesting that you bring that up, because like The Boys is the best way I can explain it is a team full of vigilantes know that the superheroes, like imagine if the Justice League, the X-Men, the Avengers, publicly they're these goodies that save people and whatnot, but then they're like real celebrities where they're really trash bags on the low. And you know, just like how we find out about politicians, and all of a sudden R. Kelly has been. Imagine R. Kelly was a superhero. No, that is a perfect way of saying.
Oh God,
no! No!
I know, but
if imagine R. Kelly was a beloved. Well, he was a superhero.
He was the people.
He was the Pied Piper.
Captain Golden.
Oh God, you just came up with a name.
That was not even horn-worthy, but I had to give you one.
Yeah.
But imagine R. Kelly, imagine Kevin Spacey, imagine these people are superheroes, but behind the scenes, they're doing this dirty stuff. And I'm not talking about, they're just, you know, they're not paying parking tickets. I'm talking about they're pedophiles. They're rapists. They
like the comedian on Watchmen.
Yes. Great example. The comedian will work well in The Boys. And this vigilante group knows that they're trash bags, and they have their own little kind of superpower serum that allows them to be able to go toe-to-toe with them occasionally, and they're basically holding them to task.
Yeah, trying to take them down.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, Tab, you're familiar with The Boys?
Yeah. I have Amazon Prime. I see the commercial every single time I turn it on.
But I mean, have you read the comic books?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I thought it was really good. I thought this was something Amazon came up with. I didn't know it was its own graphic novel.
Yeah. Yeah, I put it like this. And the best part about it is they take every established superhero and have its own doppelganger in the city. So Superman is represented. Wonder Woman, she a whole freaking Boys. She's represented. Green Lantern. The X-Men are these mentally challenged people who are actually controlled by look, read The Boys, but I really hope Amazon does The Boys right.
My sister said Captain Golden Shower.
Go see. That's what she keyed in on. Say, Sean brings our PG rating up to R every time he comes on the episode.
Hashtag Captain Golden Shower. Okay.
Is that the hashtag that we want to put out now?
No, but there's probably going to be people hashtagging
Please don't hashtag HNIC Captain Golden Shower. Don't do it. Natalie Portman is going to be Thor.
After she was
Thunder and Love.
After she was like, I don't want to be Jane Foster no more.
How do you feel about this?
I was kind of cool with it because I like the Lady Thor. So I thought it was cool, and then they're not recasting Jane Foster because that would be confusing.
Right.
So that was fine. I just thought it was funny that she was like, yeah, I don't really want to do that character anymore. And they're like, well, we'll let you be the hero this time. And she was like, oh, bet.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Because sometimes you don't want to be the love interest sort of prop piece anymore. This is a woman taking on a leading role in the MCU. She now joins the ranks of Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Valkyrie, Gamora, Mantis, and she gets to get promoted into the limelight. Y'all wouldn't take that?
Yeah.
I'm not. Of course. No, like I said, I was here for it. I was excited. I just thought it was funny. She was at first. She was like, "Yeah, no, I'm kind of done with this character." And they were like, "Well, we'll let you be Thor." And she was like, "Yes, I want it. Give it."
And if y'all haven't gotten a chance to kind of read, like, what kind of upset me though, as fanboys do, the minute they hear that there's going to be a woman Thor, they're like, I'm tired of all the gender swapping. And it's like, bro, do you even read comic books?
That made me laugh harder than anything. Is they were like, oh, I can't believe they're gonna be a lady, and because they're the first people to cry about how stuff doesn't stick to the comic books, and it's like, suck a dick, bitch, because she is in the comics.
Don't say those things while he's drinking, because I don't want any of that on me.
Tem always has something raunchy to say to people. What was it? That's how we even got a bag of dicks on my head. Because Tem kept saying you can eat a bag of dicks. Who raised you? Oh, I know exactly who raised you.
The person you make jokes with.
What? My man Art Ward. Yeah, the original OG of comic books for me. Sean, how do you feel about Lady Thor?
So at first, my thoughts were similar about Natalie Portman. When I see photos of her holding Mjolnir, I probably butchered that name.
No. Actually, you
okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Mjolnir? Well, it's easier than Mahershala. I did it right again.
All right, so as she was holding Meow Mix, basically I wasn't.
Wow. Did he say Meow Mix?
So
I don't know. He was the only one that answered the phone.
He adds a spice though. Like the salt.
Salt Bay.
Yeah.
Did you try to do Salt Bay? You gotta curl. You gotta get like.
You gotta like.
It's like crouching snake. You gotta kind of hit it from here. You gotta do better as a succubus. You gotta know how to hit the Salt Bay.
I don't cook. People cook for me.
Succubus life. But go ahead.
So, seeing photos of her holding it, I'm like, I can't fully see it. Now, I'm not saying it as, it's because she's a woman. It's just, I can't see her compared to how it is in the comics.
Sean, are you misogynistic? Do you have an issue with a woman being Thor?
Well, it is like it is in the comics. Jane Foster has cancer. When she turns into Thor, she literally grows like 2 feet. Like she turns into Thor. Jane Foster has cancer. She's like really sickly.
I was about to say, just the same way when Thor's persona used to be a cane. Yeah, he was a cane.
Yeah.
The power of Thor can be wielded by whomever is worthy. Captain America already showed that, especially in the MCU. So
here's the thing. That's my first
I was
initial.
disappointed Captain America didn't get a Thor makeover when he had.
I did too, and I felt like he should have.
Yes, like he should have.
But I figured Thor was already using that power.
So he's supposed to like change. So if you wield it, you're supposed to like change like
That's why
appearance because of it.
Stuff like
Okay, so this is a time to be alive for me because there's so
what a
much,
time to be
so
alive.
much information going on as far as comic book wise for people like me who were unknowledgeable, who are now being enlightened.
Don't worry, when we do anime, we'll be relying on you.
Yeah, then that's when I'll be like, no, YouTube, it's not like that.
And the way she grinds me up, but I love when we do Marvel stuff because then I know. But go ahead, Sean.
So that's my initial thought. However, think about it with comics, especially when he came to Batman. And I'll explain how that's involved. No matter what, when they are first announced as this person is going to be this comic book hero, everyone's first initial reaction is, I can't really see that. Like Michael Keaton as Batman, no one could really see that. Yeah, he was like an 80s comedian, and then you see him, it's like, oh damn. And honestly, like seeing the photo of Natalie with that, and I'm thinking like, I can't. However, I'm also thinking like V for Vendetta. I could see other films where I'm like, I can see if it's done right. Yes, she can be that badass.
I felt the same way about Zachary Levi and Henry Cavill when they were both casted as Superman and Shazam, respectively. I was like, really, bro? And then they like totally like hulked up.
Oh no,
and, like,
the biggest one.
Mike Whitehead.
Captain America.
I'm sorry, real quick. Mike Whitehead said Michael Keaton was the best Batman.
Well, yes,
facts.
and
I think we all agree.
Yes,
but the best looking one was Val Kilmer. No, he's the one that fit the bill the best, in my opinion.
Bat
Alex in the back said, "I just like bat nipples."
But no, a good.
Wait, Salt Bay it. Go ahead.
So the same reaction.
Ben
Affleck. Get out of here. That's Dad Bob Batman.
You said
Christian Bale was a horrible Bruce Wayne.
No, Christian Bale just had a horrible.
That was funny though.
That's my voice.
That's cool. I'm sorry, Sean. We went completely
I know we go off the rails. You're good. But no, my first reaction to this is similar to when people thought of Captain America and who was cast. Because
Chris Evans, I was kind of sold on him on day one.
I've had a lot of people.
Really?
I wasn't.
Yeah,
No,
because
I was thinking about like
Human Torch, right?
Well, no,
Like,
with me, it wasn't because of him as Human Torch. It was because the only last time I saw him was in Not Another Teen Movie where he's naked with whipped cream all over his junk, and I'm like, wait, he's going to be Captain Booty?
Oh well, yeah.
And then, sure enough, yes, he was Captain Booty.
Captain Booty. I like that.
I'm the ass of America.
I'm sorry. Sean, that's the wrong movie.
Here we go again.
Captain Booty is
But
streaming
I
on.
love these things like Game of Booty.
Yeah, that's trademark, man. Trademark.
Game of Booty.
Wait. In that moment, there should have been a comic book scroll. See episode 39 for reference to Game of Booty.
Game of Booty.
Game of Booty. Sassy has established more hashtags on this show. Is Sassy single? Game of Booty. Shut up, Grandpa Kurt. Y'all are a weeaboo. So if you actually have kept up with us, first of all, you have no life, and we thank you for that.
We need that.
No, we want all the weebs, all of them. If you are sitting at home right now with Cheeto dust on your shirt, playing World of Warcraft, and listening to us in the
Imagine
background,
me stepping on you and calling you trash.
Wow!
You too can get Sassy to step on you for $19.95 a month plus shipping and handling.
See, that's that terrible porn.
Trash.
Wait a minute.
Hey, it's 50 episodes. We're expanding.
Wait.
They like that kind of thing.
Wait a minute.
They want to be stepped on.
Did you say weeb?
Yeah, they like people to step on them and degrade them and call them things.
I mean, no, the best part is Sassy saying it with this evil smirk and tough, like, yeah, sometimes a nigga like to be called trash.
I could tell you about my panels. That is spot on.
Oh, that's right. Because we're gonna. We have so much to talk about. But I want to talk a little bit about your panels because you do a lot of adult themed panels at comic book conventions, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All of the time. I've attended a couple of them.
And have they been trash?
Yes.
That's my favorite
So
thing.
we'll talk about them in due time.
All right. Natalie Portman's going to be Jane Foster. Fanboys, get over it. Lady Thor is a dope comic book, number one. And I'm sorry if you're not with the wave of more representation in media for women and showing that women can be. First of all, you can't be a comic book fan if you have issue with women superheroes. You just can't be because, by all means, go.
Storm was Thor. Eat a fat dick. Storm was Thor. I was a better Thor than Thor. He admitted it. Like, whoa, you put in work. She was like,
well, she's been wielding thunder since day one.
Done my job.
First of all, you don't give mutants the power of a god.
She already is a god.
Right. The god is
put in work.
That's why she's my bottom bitch.
Do you even comic book, bro? All right. So next up, we have the Eternals. I don't know how I feel about this.
That was my least
favorite.
One.
Yeah,
that was my least favorite announcement. Only because I'm not overly familiar with them, and I was like, do we? They have an importance, and I believe they do. Yeah, and they have like a role to play. So I think the Eternals is how we get the X-Men.
Okay,
I'm fine with this in terms of because I'm not as familiar. However, I know my brother, as soon as he reads, is like, Sean, I'm going to link you to so many comic books. You better damn read these. Now, here's the thing. When Guardians of the Galaxy was first released, a lot of people were like, I have no idea who these are. And do we love Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
Hell yes. So if they play it right, if it's the right director, if it's the right angle, I do think that this not as familiar franchise portion, I do think it can blow up wonderfully if it's handled right.
Marvel Eternal. I actually have the comic book, the entire graphic novel at the crib. I have yet to really get around to reading it in its entirety. I do know that it basically is Thanos' family, and that's what spawns Titans. And they've already alluded to this in the MCU. All this is precursor stuff because there's going to be prequels to what came before. Here's my thing with the Eternals. I'm super hyped that Paperboy has been casted in it.
Really?
Yeah,
that's awesome. He's getting crazy.
Yo, he's getting crazy roles, and I think he's actually a really good actor.
He was good in Child's Play. He was great in Child's Play.
I didn't see that.
He's Officer Mike, man.
Yeah, he's the officer.
Really?
Officer Mike.
All right, so we've had this discussion about why I don't want to go see Child's Play, but either way, the Eternals it's now if that's how mutants are going to come through the MCU, I'm here for it, and I feel like they've abandoned the Inhumans. And that's where I'm disappointed because here's the thing. You're about to establish a whole new brand, a whole new family, a whole new line to bring in mutants. And I get that. They had the TV show with the Inhumans.
Yo,
and
it was
so garbage.
bad.
It was so garbage.
And it didn't have to be, which is what made me mad.
That's what pisses me off. Medusa, Black Bolt, Lockjaw, and I was so hyped for, hey, okay, no mutants, no problem. Let's run with this Inhumans thing because it makes sense. And now they're just abandoning Inhumans altogether. And I'm all for all these. Angelina Jolie's in it. I forget some of the other actors who've been casted, but check out our Instagram. We got everything pretty much laid out. But though I see the necessity of doing the Eternals, I'm not really hyped for it. Sass, what you think?
They didn't do enough to make me, because my comic book savviness is lacking, and then you kind of really got to try hard to like get me to look at it. And it's like one of those shows now for me that ends up like when they advertise on regular like basic TV. This is coming out, and I'm like,
nah. See, and that's my thing. Okay. For y'all, remember when they first came out with the X-Men? We were like, holy crap, X-Men. Because why? Who doesn't know the X-Men, right? Mm-hmm. When it came out, this is going to be Avengers. Holy crap, Avengers, right? When you're doing obscure, and I say obscure because Eternals is really for comic book nerds. This is not for the general public. But once again, I think Tef or Sean said it earlier. They did the same thing with the Guardians of the... When they said Guardians of the Galaxy, I picked up my phone like, what?
I almost didn't go see it.
I said which one?
That's my point.
And I didn't see it until after the fact.
And everybody said it was good.
Because Dev kept talking about it because that's like his favorite. And I was like, all right, well, if he says so, then I'll watch it. And I ended up liking it a lot.
And I think they have fully established in the comic books and in the MCU, there is Marvel 616 on Earth, and then there's Cosmic Marvel. And the two intertwine, but they're two separate total worlds. Because trust me, how the MCU implemented Ego, the living planet,
good job.
Mind blown. Well done. And Kurt Russell is one of my all-time favorite actors. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was very well done with the Guardians of the Galaxy series. You know, James Gunn is coming back for the third one. And now it's going to be as Guardians of the Galaxy. They got Thor with them. We're going to probably see Beta Ray Bill. I'm hyped. Yeah. And I don't know with Love and Thunder and Love or Love and Thunder. I'm not sure what Love and Thunder is going to be about, but I'm glad that they're going a different direction with it because that means maybe we'll actually see Thor, really put in work with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's the love part. Him getting back with her kind of.
But at some point, Thor has to become unworthy for her. Well, I don't know.
Well, Javier made a good point. He was like, you haven't got a trailer or anything yet. And I think that's what also is like tantamount to a lot of this stuff. Like the things that you may not be excited for, we don't have anything to go off of yet except for an announcement. And a tentative cast. Because anything can happen between now and then. So, again, I didn't want to go see Guardians of the Galaxy until I saw the end credit scene for Thor: The Dark World, and I saw the Collector in it. And my son's biological dad was like, "No, wait, see, it's all tied in. You have to see it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh well, I guess so." I was like, "Oh yeah, well, I guess you're right." And then I went to go see it, and I was like, "Yeah."
But see, Marvel been doing that crap for the longest time. You have to get all the comic books in the arc to get the full story. Yeah. It's like, bruh, you just want to sell. Man, all right, we get it. Either way, big ups to all those new, them coming out with things like the Eternals because there is definitely diversifying the world. And one of the things talking about diversification that Marvel's going to do is Shanghai.
Shang-Chi.
Well,
You
why
took
I gotta-
Shanghai.
Hold on.
Thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Sam.
that confused me earlier when I was trying to.
Hold on. For the most part, don't listen. Everybody's about to go in on me and be like, "Kurt's a noob." I just read it off the screen, so that was a typo. It's saying Shang-Chi.
Talk about another one. This guy has been campaigning for this role for years.
Really?
Yeah, he tweeted them back in 2009 or 2004, and he tweeted them twice back in 2004, and he was like, "So if you guys want to do anything, you let me know."
Yo,
and then a second
he slid in their DMs.
He tweeted them directly, and then the second time he was like, still waiting on that phone call, and then when they made the announcement that he got the role, he was like, "They finally called me back."
Yo, I'm here for it.
Yeah, that's a long.
Because now, I think what it was, Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
That really has sparked a new wave. Because same with Mulan coming out, more representation for a specific demographic that's been underrepresented in film, media, and television, and especially one that has been typecast as similar to Black people. Mm-hmm. And there's certain specific roles that they have for the Asian culture that honestly they're tired. People of color are just normal human beings that do normal human being things. Right. We don't always have to. I mean, for us Black people, it's personal.
They don't always have to be the guy from The Hangover that pops out the trunk,
right? Which is crazy because I love Ken.
Dr.
Ken is funny, but isn't it amazing how that's the typecast, though, isn't it?
That's usually
and they never get the girl, like in what was it? The one with Jet Li and Aaliyah.
Romeo Must Die.
Yeah,
Romeo Must Die.
They build this whole romance through the whole movie, and then she just walks away. It's like they never get the girl. They're never like the romantic lead or anything like that. So
and typically, what do we always see them in? Kung fu movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's to the point now where even Black people automatically think everyone Asian knows.
Or when they pop up,
martial
they
arts.
make them look like the little, if there's an Asian woman in something and she appears, there's somebody's friend, she'll have like the twin tails and like the schoolgirl uniform and the backpack, and it's like,
or she'll be the dowdy, shy one who doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah, and that's not fair because they do other things and have lives just like we do.
And the funny thing is, I just talked about diversification in roles, and we're about to talk about Shang-Chi, a martial artist. But it's good to see in a super. I mean, honestly,
but he's gonna be in a lead role.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying, and I'm asking y'all, when's the last time you seen someone of Asian descent as a superhero? Think about that.
I don't know.
Ultraman.
All right, we got Ultraman in the back.
No, that's not Asian, but American ones, though? No.
Yeah.
I mean, no, think about that.
And that didn't count.
The one. But yes, because it was a superhero-esque and it was a lead role. But the one was what? The 90s? Early 2000s? If y'all haven't seen Jet Li the One, the ending.
And wasn't the guy, but he was like the side chick guy. He wasn't the main lead in the movie. What was it that Hornet?
Green Hornet? Yeah. Oh God. With Seth Rogen?
Yeah. He's like his butler or whatever.
Yeah, so that wasn't even really
the kung fu fighting butler. Y'all meshed in all the
just all of these things.
Okay, can I just say it was Bruce Lee who did it originally? Stone Cold Fox in the original Green Hornet. I was like,
yeah. If he
did you have to breathe? You had to take a second.
Looking man.
Yeah.
The funny thing about that was, he told them, "Don't dress me in anything stupid. I get to wear what he wears."
Yeah, Bruce Lee. Actually, Bruce Lee made the Green Hornet. Nobody cared about that.
Like they wanted to put him in stupid. He's like, "No, I don't. That's a kung fu uniform. That's not everyday dress. They say I want to dress
like a normal person."
Well, just hard for that. They were gonna put him in that though.
But that's one of the cool things about having more representation, because now in Shang-Chi, one of the things that I'm super hyped for, because y'all need to fix this, because y'all
Mandarin.
Yes, Tef, steal my thunder. No, but it's cool. Iron Man ruined him. Number one, you didn't cast someone of Asian descent. That's first and foremost. Yeah. Second of all, the Mandarin is one of the single most racist characters in Marvel history. I mean, he's got the full Fu Manchu. It's terrible. I'm hoping that they can redo it for a more culturally aware type of villain.
But they did like the Marvel extra shorts where they do reveal that he's
he's fake.
The real Mandarin.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We know that now.
Fu originally had the ring, so anybody who wears that John gets tainted by him. So remember, Shang-Chi is the son of Fu Manchu.
Well, I put it like this. Right now, with the Legend of the Ten Rings,
that's gonna be lit.
It sets up that we get to see the real Mandarin.
Big Fang Foom.
We get this, hopefully, hold on, let's not get crazy. Because to bring Fin Fang Foom to the screen, I didn't think you could do it with Ego, but if it can be done properly, he is one of Iron Man's like main villains. And I was kind of surprised that they kind of screwed the pooch in the actual Iron Man series, but super cool to see it coming out. Also, Doctor Strange 2.
Yay.
Oh, see, Sassy, why are you hyped for Doctor Strange 2?
Because I love Doctor Strange. That's my imaginary husband.
He hit you with the IMO. Never mind. I was about to do a nasty joke. I was like, come on, baby, we out.
Not amused.
Yes, ma'am.
Benedict Cumberbatch wasn't even cute to me until Doctor Strange.
Yo, Benedict Cumberbatch is a G. I loved him in
like,
Sherlock Holmes.
He's like ugly handsome.
You said ugly handsome.
Did you hear that, fellas? You could be ugly
my
handsome.
husband like that right next to me in my face.
I love him. Don't be like that. I love him as an actor. He is a great talent. He is also handsome ugly.
Hold on. I'm putting it in chat. Is Doctor Strange ugly handsome?
He is. No.
He's got an English smile.
First of all, he ain't got no lips. So let's start there.
What does that have to do with anything?
Girl, one, he ain't got no lips. His mouth is one curved line. Let's start there.
Well, I'm done with you on this curve. That's a genetic issue. He can't do anything about.
Like his cheeks are up. Like I think it's his haircut. Like
I'm not letting y'all go down. No.
Why is she doing this now?
We're not going down this rabbit hole.
British stereotyping aside.
Yeah, British stereotyping. Oh, I'm sorry, offended white man.
I just said offended
But you got nice lips. I'm not talking about you.
Oh, because I ain't British. That's it.
So we've been so rude, we offended Sean. Not saying so. Sean was like, I will have none of this.
Oh, no, I just wanted to end that part of the discussion. Trust me, it takes a lot to offend me. However, I am excited. It's him, Scarlet Witch, is actually going to do something.
Finally.
Instead of a one line that got turned into a meme and then yeet for the rest of the movie on Endgame. No, she is doing a double trouble thing with him in a Mind of Madness, and although it's going to be PG-13, it's going to be horror.
Yeah.
I'm excited with that.
I am.
Yay.
Sean gave us the official. Yeah, you see, it was all official and whatnot.
Yeah, because
wait a minute, hold on. Now here's, I'm excited for Wanda being in it. I'm even more excited for them to actually do something with her, aside from making her just a vehicle.
She's the most powerful Avenger. Like, come on.
Most powerful person.
Yes, and I won't disagree with that because she can alter reality.
Maybe they'll.
But she hasn't
done it yet.
Right, and that's my thing because they've only used her for like physical damage, and then she hasn't really shown her.
Reflector power. Almost wrapped up there.
But mind you, no. She went to Thanos and was like, basically, you took everything from me. Catch these hands. and I'm with that. I'm 100% with that. Now, my thing is, I still think Doctor Strange is technically the most powerful person in the MCU because he's the ancient. I mean, he's going to basically become. He fought Dormammu. Yeah, he's the sorcerer. He fought. Listen, she fought Thanos. He fought Dormammu and outwitted him. Not defeated him, but outwitted him.
But he didn't use a great power to do that.
Right. Well, but sometimes it's not. Being better isn't measured by strength, but intelligence.
But in terms of power is what we were.
Well, we ain't seen Doctor Strange open up the throttle yet.
No, that's true too. And I love Doctor Strange. He's one of my favorites. I love like magic characters. I love magic characters.
Yeah.
But I always like the jerky, sarcastic character person.
That's why we rock together.
It's just like has this thing to where you just like pwned every 5 minutes. Have you ever heard of the term pwned, Grandpa? I'm sorry.
You know what? Get your hands off my button, woman! You see how they treat me? They treat me like I'm this noob. Like I've never really. I game. I know what pwn means.
Okay.
I hate you.
Sorry, Grandpa Kurt. I didn't know that your grandchildren taught you something.
Oh wow! Thank you, Oni Sassy. You terrible succubus.
You're welcome. That has a ring to it. I think I'm gonna go with that.
Oni Sassy. Did you just do a shimmy in the chair?
Yeah.
You do the same thing when you get hungry.
Yeah, I do that when I get good food too.
Yeah, ramen.
Yeah, anybody who knows me knows that Sassy dances when she has good food. If I'm not dancing, it's not that great. It's just
I feel that in my soul though. I get your food up there.
How do we even get on food? Anyway, listen. Doctor Strange is coming out. It's going to be a horrible movie. It's going to be a horror movie. Mm-hmm. It's going to feature Wanda Maximoff. And she's going to kick behind. She has obviously totally forgot that she had a brother who died because he has never been mentioned again anywhere in the MCU. Mm-hmm. And I need them to bring back Quicksilver because I need the twins. I'm sorry. I need them back. They brought back everybody else. Can we get...
Loki skated by.
Avengers one now?
Yeah, and how is Vision coming back?
Is it Wanda and Vision?
It's WandaVision. It's Wanda, but no, they get a streaming. There's going to basically Doctor Strange 2 is going to mesh into WandaVision, which will be on the streaming service for Disney because they announced. Well, we knew about Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier. I'm talking about we basically Falcon and Bucky. Yeah. We knew about WandaVision. We knew about Loki getting his own TV series. We knew about Hawkeye. And honestly, we don't have it on our outline, but Black Widow's going to get a prequel.
Mm-hmm. Actually, no, she's not. One of my friends told me it's actually going to take place between the end of Civil War and Infinity.
Oh, well, okay.
But they're still going to reveal what happened in Budapest.
Nice.
Okay,
so we find.
Taskmaster.
Yeah, and I'm hyped for Taskmaster. That's one of my all-time favorite villains. He's from Brooklyn. But to kind of round off everything with Marvel is going to do a What If series.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Yes, with Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher.
Let me tell you something. My seat is completely moist right now at the thought of there being. Dave, y'all could have seen the way Sassy cringed.
I don't know if I like this over there. Keep that over there.
Let me drip on you.
No,
take this drip. Yo.
Let me put my shoes back.
Yeah, get you touch your ankles.
No.
The things they could do with What If. Remember how we used to always read the What If comics, and some of them used to be the coolest things to have a conversation piece. Because if you don't know what If is, a What If is basically scenario-based comics that are usually overarching and it's not canon to main storylines, but they can just explore whatever crazy scenario. Like, what if Bruce Banner never turned into the Hulk, and the Hulk, and the Hulk went to Steve Rogers, or what if Thor? What if Loki was Thor and Thor was,
oh yeah, that sounds interesting.
What?
That would be actually a good way to bring the Netflix shows.
The Netflix.
The Netflix shows into this because it still won't have to be in a canon MCU, but as a alternate what if.
Like, what if Mahershala?
Oh, you were.
I was doing so good. I was doing good. What if Mahershala was Blade? What if Cottonmouth was Blade? That's how they bring Blade back. There it is. Boom.
What if Punisher was Kingpin?
Yo, wow. Yo, actually, I wouldn't mind.
Oh, no.
If y'all can't hear Alex in the back, he's about to get on the mic, but he said, what if the Punisher was Kingpin?
They did like more than Punisher than anything else. Like, what if the Venom costumes out on him? What if his family never got killed? What if he became Kingpin?
Right.
No, I want that.
Shot Spider-Man and killed him.
I want that alternate from the comics of what if he became Captain America when Captain America died.
Yeah.
What Punisher?
From Civil War.
Oh, yeah, that was a crazy. Yeah. What I like best about it is it's going to be hosted by Uatu, the Watcher. So if you're not familiar with Uatu, he's the big head white boy that sits on the moon and watches everything.
But it's gonna be played by a black guy.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Black people are doing well. Listen.
Yeah.
Bring on the blackwash.
Yeah. I'm done with you.
I know. I knew that was gonna piss you off. I do. Listen, the Tef hates when I say that because she's like, there is no such thing as blackwashing. I'm just keeping it 100 though. I know. Listen. That's the fried chicken. Don't blame me.
What if they used the 3D model from all the other movies? Just have Jeffrey Wright do the voice. I wonder if they're going to keep the actual. Remember how the 3D models?
You know what? Oh wait, and I think it's. I take it back. I apologize. I misspoke. It's going to be animated. It's going to be animated. So it is.
Like, how do they get all these actors in there?
Right.
Like Wolverine and all stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's going to be animated. It's going to be. But listen, Marvel, let's make a run at these cartoons because DC's kicking your butt. We're not big Trekkies, but for those who are,
Addison.
Average Joe. Sorry, we are not going to do this particular subject much justice. But Star Trek universe is expanding with Captain Picard revisiting after the Enterprise series, and now they're going to be bringing back different elements of characters that came from the past. Are there any Trekkies here? Anybody? Look, Alex and Don. The two people without a mic.
I used to get mad when that show came on.
Okay, so
it's gotten better over the years.
I'm gonna keep it 100.
The one with Sonequa Martin Green is doing really well.
Oh, it's starting.
Yeah.
Hold on, where's somebody tag Addison and ask him about Trekkie?
He said me. Yeah.
All right, so I recently, because of a friend who suggested that I start watching Star Trek because it was we had the dispute over which was better, Star Wars or Star Trek. I know. Age long, it's like the old wars. It's like I came from the old wars. There's always been that fight. Which one is better? They said apparently on Netflix it has every Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
I tried to watch the pilot episode of Star Wars and I cut it off within 5 minutes.
Star Trek.
Star Trek, yes. Sorry, thank you.
Like Star Wars versus Star Trek is like Final Fantasy versus Dragon Warrior, graphics versus story.
And mind you, which one has had the more cultural impact? I can admittedly say Star Trek has had the more cultural impact because it's one of the longest rolling series.
Yeah.
Because remember, here's the thing: Star Wars has been impactful. But remember, Star Trek was talking about cell phones and things that we have in technology now. And Star Wars has the first interracial kiss. Come on.
That's true.
Game changer.
They didn't even really want to have. What's his name? William Shatner had to fight for that. He would actually mess up every other take that didn't have the kiss in it. So they ended up having to use it on the show.
Yes.
William Shatner. You were invited to the barbecue.
Yes.
OG, triple OG. Plus James T. Kirk.
Fight for our right.
But don't bring potato salad.
Don't bring anything but ice.
Or Hennessy. You can bring Hennessy. Hennessy is a staple of the black barbecue.
He cannot.
He can bring Hennessy.
My barbecue, he can't bring that trash in there. I hate that crap.
You hate Hennessy?
Terrible.
Who are you people?
Please bring any form of whiskey that you would like to bring, just not that.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Fine, that's fair.
No, we're not doing this. You cannot have an African American barbecue without cognac of some sort. You either bring Douce or you bring, you know what, I'm going to the chat.
So first of all, Sassy is not a punk, and I do shots, and to do shots off of Hennessy is the most disgusting thing ever.
Apple E&J.
Oh God.
Fair enough.
You know how many bad decisions I've made? Never mind. We won't get. I'm sorry.
I don't do dark liquor of any kind.
Look, Star Trek. We're ready to go to the next What they say? Up and away. I don't know.
Ooh, Addison would fight you if he was in here.
I'm being smart just because I'm not a Trekkie and Star Wars is still the best.
Don't worry, Edison. I'm not gonna let him disrespect you like
the boldly go where no man has gone before. Yeah. Stardate 616. I just left these freaks on planet Succubus.
To infinity and beyond.
Yeah. Next up, what do we got, Don? I can't even scroll down. I'm almost 100%.
I believe you got to show another trailer.
Guess what? We got another slave movie coming out, but hopefully we're gonna talk about that. I mean, I know it's up next. Listen, y'all. I'm kind of super excited for this, but I am a little battle weary of slave-esque movies. But we got a trailer for you. I'm not even going to preface it. Let's check out this trailer that covers the history and the legacy of Sister Harriet Tubman.
There's not much time. You got to be miles away from here for dawn. Where is she? Follow that North Star. If there are no stars, just follow the river. Listen for them. Fear is your enemy. Whoa, easy now.
I'm gonna be free or die.
I don't know if you know how extraordinary this is, but you have made it 100 miles to freedom all by yourself. Would you like to pick a new name to mark your freedom?
Harriet Tubman. You are welcome here anytime. If I'm free, my family should be too. I made up my mind, I'm going back. You're confident, composed. When trouble comes, you'll be ready.
Papers. Says here you're 5.5 feet tall. You ain't more than 5 feet.
Must have won my high boots that day.
Why you back here? It ain't safe.
I come to get you. Bring all of you to freedom.
Do you know what would happen if you got caught? You got lucky, Harriet.
I made it this far on my own, so don't you tell me what I can't do.
Harriet, welcome to the Underground Railroad. Everybody, everywhere is looking for you.
God don't mean people to own people. Find this thief and burn her at the stake. Harriet! I will give every last drop of blood in my veins until this monster called slavery is dead. Ready?
I saw it.
Oh, really? Oh, that's even better. Yo, first, give a round of applause to my man Alex coming all the way from Atlanta.
Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Yo, listen, Alex, why don't you kind of introduce yourself to the people?
Oh, for the most part, I'm just a regular guy.
You don't know superpowers?
Of course, I know superpowers. I've been giving you guys help and support in the back.
Listen, he's been A1. Listen, Alex has been a long-time supporter of the show. Friend of the show, family of the show. We have our 1-year anniversary. He came through to come for the karaoke party this Saturday, and when he hit me up, he said, "Yo, I'm in town." I was like, "If you're in town, come to the show." So we finally got to add one of our longtime supporters, and we really appreciate it because let me tell you something. Without the supporters, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now, or grow or expand. So it's super cool to have somebody who's been super, because he'll G-check you in the chat. Don't get it twisted. Don't say nothing wrong. Alice is going to let you know, like, Even in the back, he was like, "You guys suck." But now with the trailer, come on, Tap, how do you feel about this?
So I'm
Sean, you're not allowed to talk through this entire segment. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
No, so I'm cool with like the badass female lead, but I'm kind of with you. I kind of have slave fatigue. Like we are so much more than slaves. Like our history is so much richer than that. Like we can do more than like civil rights slave stories. But also, Harriet Tubman, it's a story we've never seen before. Shorty got a rifle. I'm like, with it.
Okay, so they opened the trailer with the shotty. I'm with that. Let's get going. I just don't want it to be the, woe is me, Lordy, we's got to get the freedoms.
Right.
Yeah.
It don't seem that way.
It doesn't.
Yeah, this is true.
It's not 12 years a slave.
What do you think, Alex?
I'm thinking, from my point of view, I'm hoping this is not going to be like a Django Unchained female version.
But I
like that movie.
Okay, Sass, what do you think about Sister Harriet?
I think it has some potential. Although I agree with Tuff, like I'm having slave fatigue also, but this seems like it could have some potential. And then on top of that, Janelle Monáe, she's in it, so I have to support that. So
So, Sean, do you have slave fatigue? Why did everybody laugh? Everybody black down the line. Look at him
look like what, Sean?
No, it's that meme where the whole classroom just looks at you.
Hey, answer wisely, nigga.
So I shouldn't use that joke.
Yeah, no.
I thought he was going to say I shouldn't use that word. I was about to be like, boy.
No. I had a really bad joke at the beginning of the show about this. But no. I'm all for it because when it comes to Harriet, at least in schools for white folks, you don't know much about her. No, it's, okay, what's so significant about her? Okay, she freed the slaves. Like, legit. That's all we were taught. That, a mention about an Underground Railroad, you don't get much else. Was she the one that was on the back of the bus? No, that was some other one. And, like, we don't get much.
Tread lightly, sucker.
Movies are a good segue because, let's face it, even if it's a bit inaccurate, it's informative. And no matter what, any exposure is good exposure at this point.
Yo, Sean, that was the best tiptoeing through landmines.
If you could just see John's face right now, he's just like looking like, waiting.
Listen, I have never
watching you.
I've never seen Sean's brain work so fast. He was like, all right, not
like
yet.
How do you do it? Like I think that's a skill within itself as being a white person, is being able to like on point quickly say like responses to
if
these
I had to
things.
censor myself live on air, I could do almost anything at this point.
Yeah, which is when we thank you. Nasty,
yes,
nasty Sean. I think we're all. I think the genre of slave movies has exhausted African Americans, and we're just ready to see something else. And we still acknowledge that these stories still need to be told because there's still a lot of misinformation and miseducation, and movies are a phenomenal vehicle to educate when they're accurate. Now, I don't know about the validity or accuracy of this particular movie. Hopefully, we'll get some untold stories that we don't really know about or unfamiliar with. And I don't mind somebody taking a little bit of creative license and having to bust a cap in somebody's behind that she might have or might not have done. I'm just saying, I'm okay with Sister Harriet street sweeping the block as long as it's on a plantation.
I thought it was going to be like the Harriet Tubman graphic novel where she's got like an axe and a rifle.
Listen, I'm all the way.
Yes.
I'm all the way Catcher Freeman-esque.
There is one thing I also want to say in regard to this, and that is
tread careful.
Yeah. Look, it's the overexposure or that feeling of too much slavery-related media. I can understand where that's coming from because that has been in the media a lot with, 12 Years a Slave and everything. But here's the thing. I also think how many retellings of a white guy making a baseball field has become a movie. Honestly, this...
Twice. Yeah. Two. How many slave movies are there?
Yeah. Sean,
I'm throwing that as an example.
That's so the closest thing he has for comparison
I am
right
confident
now.
that there are so many movies about here's this generic white guy. He does a thing. We're going to retell it 16 different times.
Bruh, that's history.
Right.
Exactly. But you don't get much from this. That's why I'm still saying I'm all for this. And even if it comes off as a media fatigue, I'm still seeing it as a positive thing.
Yeah.
At least we are getting media fatigue from something like this than nothing at all. When was the last time you saw something big?
Sean, a black woman just sucked her teeth and rolled her eyes. This is where you read the room. I know. It's a cultural cue. I know exactly what tell. She was like, and look.
Oh yeah, I'm on your face.
All my sister vibes is shut the. All you didn't do was clap. No. Here's why. And we no. Because listen, this is a blurred.
And Sassy is an anomaly because you can literally toss me in anything, and I'm not gonna make a face or do anything because I just don't want to make it awkward.
We keep it 100 here all the time. One thing, what we get it, because don't get me wrong, Sean, I 100% know you're an ally, and I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
We get what you're trying to say because, hey, if you're going to be fatigued off of something that at least puts a positive story about somebody who is trying to change a wrong that can never be truly equalized. No problem. And in the effort of capitalizing on these slave stories, all we get are these slave stories. I mean, unfortunately, when it comes to major studios, we don't get Love Jones. We don't get a lot of times. It's we have to produce our own movies to get romantic rom-coms or anything
like exploitation, man.
Right? Exactly.
Actual black people past 1960 who have made insane contributions to the world. Like, I don't know, the cell phone, heart surgery.
Right.
He had his own movie, but it's on HBO.
Of course it was.
Storage media.
1960, we don't exist. Unless we're pimps, hoes, and gang members.
I want the story of the black dude that created the Super Soaker.
Yes!
That's me. I think that's relevant to my life.
Oh.
Did you know a black guy created the Super Soaker?
No, because nobody ever talks about it. They just keep running it in the hole about how we made other stuff like the
George Washington Carver made
peanut butter.
Right.
Like, I don't even like peanut butter.
I do. You thank George for that delicious goodness, woman.
Thank you.
Either way, Sister Harriet is going to be featured in this movie, and I'll still go support it, just like I did Rosewood, 12 Years a Slave, The Django, Roots. Mandingo.
You support all
I saw
these. I supported him at home.
Which Mandingo, man?
All of them.
Wrong person.
But that kind of segues into something else because Tef, you had a gripe. What the problem is?
So.
Oh no.
There was this article that came out this week, actually, where this white woman decided that she was gonna make a silk-lined bonnet, and she claimed to be the inventor of this thing. That she was the first person to ever create a silk-lined bonnet, and that was good for all hair types. That she did her research and consulted her doctor to find the best solution to keep her skin clear and her hair soft.
She talked to her one black friend.
All you had to do, you just had to do this. I am the best of doing everything.
And she got the nerve to charge $100 for a cat.
All right.
And it's ugly.
And which people will probably pay. Well, more of her people may pay for it because they don't know about hair stores.
She's featured in this fashion magazine as being this huge innovator. When I hate to break it to you, sis, everybody in my family has been wearing silk and satin lined caps since like the dawn of time. I'm so sick of these white people, Columbus men, like discovering stuff. Just because it's new to you, don't make it new.
Sean.
Here we go.
I didn't say you, But anyway.
So you put a silk cap on your head, you Columbusin too. But
he's not Columbusin by doing it. He Columbusin by saying, I was the first to do it ever, when people have been doing it for
like
decades,
boxer braids.
Now, and here's the interesting thing, because that sparked a whole conversation within our group. This has been an issue. It's a culture vulturing, and it's one of those labels where, first off, as a black man, if you have ever dated, loved, laid with, or lived with a black woman, you have seen a Louis Vuitton silk scarf on their head, a Fendi silk scarf on their head, some form of do-rag-esque silk nylon mesh to put.
I'm mad you said Louis Vuitton. I'm like, who got that? I ain't got no money. I went to the hair store for like
I only dealt with women that
$2.
Yeah, I was saying, I ain't
$4.
What you trying to say?
Oh my God. No, you get them $5.99. I got one in my bag.
Yeah, $4.99.
Listen, and it's protective wear. It's and that this is where the running joke of don't
keep
touch
my
my
braids
head.
fresh.
Listen, if you have ever been about to do the doggone thing, and she's like, hold on, and she will wrap her whole head, and you be like, oh, okay.
No, or if I just got my hair done, you can't even approach me with that scenario.
She said, I'm one of those people though that's kind of.
I
be one of the ones trying to be cute and be like, I'm gonna try to just like maneuver this so I can like keep my hair out because I still want to be cute.
Alex, what about you? I mean, in your travels of love and lust. Oh. he perked up. He said, "Yes."
let us talk.
Let us pontificate. Have you seen the silk? Are you knowledgeable of what she's talking about with the silk rag on our sister's head?
Dude, at one time in my growing up years, I lived in a house full of 13 women. At least six out of them had to have a silk skirt.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It is literally a cultural thing.
My mother still has like two of her original silks when we first moved down to Georgia.
Listen, first of all, and it's not even just the women. Because black men have do-rags and stocking caps for days.
Yeah, I know a couple of them.
So what infuriates us about this is like Tef said, how dare you repurpose the same thing that we've been doing for God knows how long, and it's cultural, and then upcharge it.
Well, no, you say you invented it.
Right.
Yeah, you can't do
You don't even be like, oh, so I saw this thing that black people were doing, and I decided I was going to charge $100 for it and make it butt ass ugly.
Now, I have to ask you this question because here, you know me, I like to play devil's advocate. Here we go. Because now, please center yourself because we're about to argue a little bit. And know the thoughts and views of King Kurt Live might not be necessarily my personal view. But here, look, Sean's like, no, Sean, do white people use, hold on, do white people be using silk scarves in your house? Like, did you grow up around silk scarves?
Not white people, but I.
Oh, that's right. You date,
and that's how I was informed because when she kept coming out.
Well, no, hold on. I wouldn't.
Because when she kept coming out during the day with one of those on, I'm like, so.
What is that?
That's the way you said it.
What is that?
What is this thing upon your cranium?
No, not that, because at least by secondhand exposure, I'm like, okay, I roughly know black women wear that a lot. So I was like, okay, inform me, what's going on with that? And she explained it. I was like, okay. And then I learned the side effect if you don't get that, which is when she was with a trip to me down in North Carolina, and she forgot that after going in the pool and stuff. And oh my goodness, I saw the aftermath.
Got you.
Oh, she had a bad time.
Yo.
Also, this white woman, I am sure she is in some community where she has not seen a single black person for miles.
Research Canada.
I don't care. They got black people in Canada.
Yeah.
But what they do is,
all she had to do.
Yo, Canadians don't get a pass over here.
All she had to do was Google silk scarf.
But
they got them in every beauty store from here.
But you just gotta Google female headwear, and you're gonna see more results than something that.
But I really don't think that it was targeted towards the fact. Honestly, in my opinion, I feel like it was targeted towards, like we mentioned, ignorance from other people who don't know what it is, who will spend that $100 on it because they don't know what it is, and they're like, "Oh, look, this cool thing that I've never seen before, and it's only $100. I have money to throw away." And they throw it away. And
for anybody that can if you can $100, please send it to my Cash App. Head nerds.
The people she advertises to got it to throw it away.
Listen,
if you want to support a black-owned brand that does this even better, Grace Eleye or Eleye. She has one. It's $25. It's called her slap cap. I have had my slap. Yes, it is a slap cap. It's a satin line.
Why is it a slap cap?
That's just like the little nickname.
Okay,
it's her satin line cap. I've had mine for 2 years and it still works.
Listen, only on the Head Nerds in Charge can you get hair care recommendations for black people by black people.
And as you can see, I rock my natural hair like.
And I love your crown,
out.
sister.
Yeah, I rock my natural hair 6 months out of the year. I've had this thing for 2 years and I still use it. I'm actually about
I
to
wear
buy
my hair
another.
natural too. So then now that we start talking about natural hair, I wanna propose this conversation. Can you appropriate a hairstyle? Because we're running pictures now like cornrows and dreads.
Oh, and when they did they did Bantu knots, but they called it something else. That's
what
I was like,
okay, hold on.
They were like, oh, they're heatless bag curls. Or something
let me throw you the alley-oop before you get all heated. Bantu knots, we've already known. Cornrows, we knew. They called them box braids. Dreadlocks are really cultural for the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And we've seen, Rastafarians, but a lot of people have issue when people of not a color. What he say? My man Dan Reynolds in the chat said white kids pay $100 for a do-rag and $80 for a gram of Reggie.
A gram.
A gram.
I don't know anything about that.
Me neither. We don't even know what that dude talking about. A gram of Reggie. Who's Reggie?
Yeah. Never heard of him.
By the way, if you're paying $80 for a gram of Reggie, please DM me and I will tell you exactly how much I don't know about it. Anywho, can you appropriate a hairstyle? Is that still a negative thing? Because hair is hair, right?
So hair in the abstract form is hair, but what you cannot do is say, here's this thing that I came up with that a culture has been doing since the dawn of time, such as cornrows, braids, dreadlocks, Bantu knots, and be like, this is my thing now.
Oh, okay.
And that's what you mean by Columbusin.
Yes. Like Christopher Columbus came and discovered America, a whole continent that already had niggas on it.
Or redneck.
You can't say that word.
Right.
That's
not a real thing.
That is so.
It's see, this is what it's like being a white person sometimes.
I don't care. Listen, I'm just.
Now you see, you have a taste of what it feels
I'm
like.
sorry. I apologize. Our Native American POC family. And
except for if it was the other way around and it had been a white person, you would have died.
Oh yeah. Because I'm black, I kind of get a pass.
Can I use my token once a show curse word?
Depends on what the word is.
The F1.
No, get out of here, dude. You're trying to get us. Yeah, you're trying to get us kicked out of Facebook. No, here's my
forever.
Now here's my thing about Columbusing, which is an interesting term because I always knew it as culture vulturing, but Columbusing is a pretty apropos way of saying things because. Yeah, Columbusing is a little bit more accurate because we know Christopher Columbus, number one, he still has a holiday, which is beyond me.
But it's only some people.
Yeah, and this People Day is about to be a real thing. With that being said, is it really the person's fault for introducing it? or the society's fault for accepting and allowing it?
So you can't introduce something that already exists.
Well, no. People read. No, don't. That is maybe you don't know about capitalism because guess what? Before there was Pepsi and Coke, there was cola. Cola ain't a new thing.
Right.
But how many cola companies come out and say, I have my version of cola?
Or the cheap one at the dollar store.
Yeah, I was Shasta. I was a Shasta man myself. Or RC Cola.
If it ain't Coca-Cola.
Because it's really considered repurposing or rebranding.
Right.
So now, is it wrong for them to try to rebrand something that they found in the hood?
So if you... Okay, so...
I love how all the men are like, I ain't touching this at all.
Oh, I'm okay saying a thing, but I'm letting her go because she has words to say.
Did you want to go?
Uh-oh.
Did you have a turn?
Oh, it's about to get real. We need an awkward button.
Somebody needs to take this button away from me.
We need an awkward button. So come on, Sean.
That
Do
is
you
an
have
awkward
some?
button.
What is your take on it? Can you go into the hood, find something, and then repurpose it and rebrand it and sell it and to a whole nother demographic and say it's yours?
Technically can, but it's not right.
But what makes it not right? Isn't that capitalism at its best?
Capitalism isn't good.
All right. Now, okay. So why do you feel like that, though? Yeah,
You can tell he's trying to keep it as minimal words possible in his word count, and you just trying to like you trash bag. You just gotta stop acting like Charlemagne.
Listen, I'm good at open-ended questions. Tell me how you feel about this, Sean.
Open-ended questions.
No. I mean, I understand that capitalism may not be right, but with this appropriation of a particular culture and rebranding it for another culture and capitalize on it and making a substantial profit, do you feel as though that this should be done in our society?
And the answer is still no.
Okay.
Because I lived in the Amish country in the height of white people acting like black people. From the dreads to the clothing to everything.
Yeah. Oh, Sean, bad answer. Wait a minute. What do you mean white people acting like black people because they wore a certain... Well, no, I won't say that because
I didn't know that went down like that in
the Amish country.
Stereotype,
really?
Let's say.
No. Okay, yeah, I'm with that. But in the Amish country, they were doing that.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised because I know there's like a coming of age thing to where you like
go
out and get to do your own.
That's
thing.
where I'm spraying up. But yes, but no, people do that, and it's still the same word that I'm not going to try and say on air because I ain't going to try and caution it. But it's still the same thing, and it is wrong, like flat out. Like I just want to put it in my 2 cents. I know it was a big thing, but I'm like, I've seen so many white people do this, and I have seen white people wear dreads, and like, yeah, it's a casual thing as long as they don't act like, hey, I have dreads, I'm suddenly Rastafarian.
Well, hold on. What if they're from Jamaica? Because I recently died. I'm about to drop.
Well, that causes
because I was just about to say. In my travels, twice, I met this beautiful South African couple who was as white as snow, born in South Africa, closer to Africa than I will ever be. And they are African in all intents and purposes, but they are Caucasian. Also, in Jamaica, there are people born in Jamaica who are not of African American descent, who are white, who are Rasta, who wear the dreads. My thing is, there is culture vulturing, but culture vulturing isn't indicative of color of skin. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, but they do it with Native Americans, like taking headdresses and Native American garb and trying to like turn it into the sexy thing. Like, here's this thing that we decided looked really cool, and it's like.
And I just wanted to make that distinction.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Alex.
Yeah. I was going to go ahead and go with that. They always go ahead and use that as, hey, we're going camping, so let me put on this hairdress. They always say, hey, let's all get around the campfire and do it.
Indian rain dances used to be imitated in media for the longest time, and it used to be that and all that. God,
and don't get me started on Coachella, like all of the people who show up in places like that.
This is it's a proliferation of an even bigger issue because you have American sports teams who perpetuate the ignorance by having the Cleveland Indians, the Washington Redskins. Because trust me, if it was the Chattanooga Caucasians, there'd be an issue.
Like what?
Now, mind you, with that being said, you still have to, and I love my people. Look, here on this talk show, we do our best to get deep into issues like this because there is a duality to some of these things. That's why I like to play devil's advocate. Whereas Tef is 100% right. Like, come on. No, you're not going to come into the culture, take a do-rag, and then repurpose it as a silk scarf to protect your head and the head.
Because it was doctor approved.
Right.
I was gonna get a doctor.
I worked with my doctor to come up with
Like,
this.
what? That's not dermatology. Like, what are you talking about?
And on the flip of it.
And also, can I say the other thing that I don't like about this is that white people take things or they take facets of our culture and then things that we get put down for is all of a sudden super cool for young white children to do. Like that Catch Me Outside girl. Like how many black girls have been torn down for being like ghetto and trashy and acting exactly like her.
Well, because you know
this little
what?
heifer got like $1 million record.
Now I'm about to run with that because ghetto isn't color. There are ghetto trailer parks.
But the sad part is, are some of our own people.
Let me tell you something. People don't even understand where the term ghetto comes from. It was actually used as a part of the Jewish concentration camp. I mean, I'm not educating you, but I mean, I'm educating the people as far as when we start talking about slums, ghettos, projects, we have to get out of the mindset of black.
So, but why is it bad for black people to act this way, but acceptable for white people?
Well, first of all, it wasn't acceptable for that white woman because they tore her a new one for.
But she
like
still got $1 million record deal.
And
how many? Because you got dumb people on radio shows.
Y'all a year into this show, and we what?
Yeah.
So okay, so there's that.
Well, ain't nobody being ratchet like I'm a trash bag. Have the dance on poles already. That's the whole succubus.
But
give us money.
Right.
Yeah,
but white
give me
girls
money.
can go to work with their bagless, with their like heatless curls that they got from Bantu knots, but they literally just had to pass an amendment in California that says you can't discriminate against black people for wearing that.
And why is that just now happening?
Because you know
why does that have to happen at all?
Well, hold on. Why is it a thing? Because you know what? I'll never forget growing up what dressing grooming was. Go get your hair cut. Keep yourself neat. And a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people
have trauma scars from getting my hair hot combed for Halloween.
Don't get me started. Listen,
Jesus.
I've had my parents sit me down and take a brush to my head when I wanted to grow my hair out. That's why I really don't knock anybody that just lets their hair grow in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And I love my man David Banner. He says our hair grows this way because it reaches to the heavens. And no, but it because we are one of the only people on earth whose hair grows the way it grows.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Which I often question.
But to take an entire demographic and say this is not proper grooming. And honestly, it isn't always other people. It's us to us. I've seen people say Jay-Z makes too much money to wear his hair that way. Why?
Or don't forget about their child. What is it?
Oh,
Blue
Ivy.
Yeah. When everybody was on
what they used to say back
Beyonce's
in the day.
case
Come on, how many times you heard comb your head?
People used to say it to me about my son, like, because I used to just let his hair be whatever it was, and they would be like, "Oh, you're not gonna do nothing to it? Why? That's the way it comes out of his skull. Get out of my face and stop minding my business."
So cultural dress and grooming has been modeled after things that obviously a society that we don't control. Go ahead, Sam. Did you really give me the...
Yeah, because wait a minute, let's backtrack though a little bit. So here, but there is a such thing as bedhead for everybody. Anybody can have bedhead. And I do still want to try to form it or mold it into something.
But white people have a thing called uncombable hair disease. For us, it's just being nappy.
Yeah, uncombable hair disease.
You are a liar. You are a liar. Liar. Pants on fire. There is no way in God's green earth there is a term called uncombable hair disease. Oh dear God, someone's going to actually bring. There is an uncombable hair disease.
It's called uncombable stairs syndrome.
You know what, y'all out of pocket.
Oh,
Let me tell
wait,
you.
for like when they're children, when they get it.
When they cry from getting their hair combed. But when I was little, it was just called being tender-headed.
Tender-headed. You got that tender head,
It's
girl.
foreign to them.
Still got that tender head.
Uncombable hair disease.
They don't
is
know
a
what
real...
that is. They're like, what? I've never dealt with this. What am I supposed to do with you? I don't know. Oh my God, that brings me up on the child that I seen with her father. The child. So this was a mixed race child. The father was, yes, biracial. My bad.
Well, don't worry. I said red niggas not too long ago, so.
And then the father, was Caucasian, and the child is biracial. But her hair took more of her black roots than it did her Caucasian roots. And I was so frustrated with the father because I'm looking at her and I'm like, you could have done so many things, and he just like left it. I wanted to go over so bad and be like, can you just let me help you help like her? Because I don't want to watch this. I guess she was over for the weekend and he didn't know what to do, or I don't know what the story was.
I think that's just dad though, because my dad lucked out. I'm the oldest of all my father's children, and I was on head duty. Like I had to fix everybody's hair. So that might just be a dad thing.
All right, now I got to run down the chat because the chat been popping on this subject.
How many toes for Sean to shut up?
Steph said, and they've been kicking black girls out of school with natural hair. Yes, yo, that has really become a thing, and people have had to fight to walk down in graduation because they've been forced to even that wrestler, wrestler up in New Jersey, they made him cut his hair. Well, he sued the school and they fired all those people that were responsible for that. Steph also says expletive Columbus unless he's short. I'm pretty sure she's not happy with Christopher Columbus.
Also, Columbus short need to sit down somewhere.
Yeah, he needs to stop hitting women. We have somebody that said it's copyright infringement. He's a trash bag, so we were going to skip over that particular comment. Daniel Reynolds, always insightful, always kicks that other viewpoint that, I love reading on air. He says there's a line between appropriation and appreciation. It lies in your acknowledgement of the culture. It's harder to get mad at a white woman in a dashiki when she acknowledges the duck's wax printing, the transatlantic slave trade, and Jim Crow. If you're an ally, you get certain leeway because you acknowledge where the culture comes from. Remember, Tef isn't upset that they do it. It's that they do it and say, we did it first.
Right.
And you don't give credit to where it came from.
She released a statement like maybe a day or two later after she got dragged for filth on Twitter, being like, oh, well, and in my research and all this other stuff, I don't want to take away from like the cultural importance of the history that this item may have for certain groups. I'm just saying that, basically she's just saying, I just did it for the white girls.
Yeah.
Like I just made my own thing because it wasn't.
I repurposed it for white folk.
Right, it wasn't white enough for
she
me.
wanted to steal their money. I'd be offended.
It doesn't matter what the invention is. It doesn't matter what the invention is because guess what? The cotton gin. Guess who owns the patent? A white man. Who invented it? A black man. Madam C.J. Walker. She had the hot comb. Guess what? White people own patents on the on their variation of the hot comb, and it was predominantly used for African American hair because. White people, please don't use a hot comb on your head. Your hair
can on a very low setting.
Listen,
you'd be better off just using a flat iron. It'll do the job.
Even that still will do damage.
The hair care tips.
Yeah, but just don't do the hot comb because then it won't be all in your roots and burning your ears.
You don't want that smell of burning hair in your house, no way.
And somebody said rock music was appropriated from us.
Yes,
I mean, when we start talking, if we start going down into the culture,
yeah, that's a
right, exactly,
that's a story.
So, and there is, it's interesting because I've heard people, non-POC people will say, well, hey, if you're a goth, you just appropriated my Celtic culture. Or if you are a black man and you wear a kilt, you just appropriated my Scottish culture. So it does work both ways.
You're not appropriating the culture because we're not saying that.
I know what you're about to say, but when Kanye comes out with a line of kilts.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Exactly, because black people.
I wouldn't wear none of his clothes anyway.
When Kanye
They
comes
look
out,
like homeless
because think about it. Kanye is literally doing what this white woman did. He took the culture's garb and then repurposed it and reappropriated for black people and made it leather and sold it for it ungodly. He also repurposed bum clothes.
Yeah, that's what all them clothes look like, homeless people clothes.
And I don't know why
and
Yeezys are so expensive because they're really terrible trainers. But either way, but when Kanye does it, is that a cultural appropriation?
Two wrongs don't make a right.
But is it a cult? Is
he saying that I invented this?
Is it cultural appropriation?
If he's doing what she's doing,
Kanye ain't with us no more. He crazy. It's okay.
You said he ain't with us no more.
If he's doing what she's doing and being like, I'm the first to ever do it, then yeah, right. Then yeah.
Once he stood next to Trump with blonde hair, looking off into space, and said "scoopity poop," I was done.
How Kim more woke than him?
Exactly.
She was
getting black folks out of jail.
Yeah, but her sister and
listen, Kim has done more for black people than Ray J. Never mind.
Moving on. So we doing our main topic now.
Listen, I was about to say, before we get deep into Kim, Kanye, and all of that, we have one last trailer for you. My man Henry Cavill is finally going to debut in the Witcher series on Netflix. It looks super dope, and we got that trailer coming to you right now.
I remember hearing stories about witches. Is it true what they say?
Elves are the original sorcerers of the continent. When humans and monsters arrived, elves taught the humans how to turn chaos into magic. And then the humans slaughtered them.
Chaos is the most dangerous thing in this world. But without control, chaos will kill you.
So that's all life is to you? Monsters and money?
It's all it needs to be.
Something out there waits for you.
This child will be extraordinary.
Yennefer, imagine the most powerful woman in the world. Do you have what it takes?
You've got her here. She's why they came. You can't outrun destiny just because you're terrified of it. It's coming. Fight Geralt of Rivia.
I can't do this without you.
No matter what you choose, you'll come out bloody.
Trying to have
Yo,
you guys cross your legs because eventually
Witcher,
the legs.
I like the fact that Superman is doing something different. Because that's all I know.
You know he's not really Superman.
No,
right?
he's Superman. I'm sorry. Christopher Reeves can eat it. Never mind. Henry Cavill is Superman to me. We can make. Are you excited to see Witcher?
Oh hell yes!
All right, because
the best way to put it is Game of Thrones ended, so we need a good staple in space, a good fantasy that's gonna be rated R kind of material that's gonna make you think and make you basically.
The nastier the better for you, huh, Sean?
I mean, so you just.
I mean, it's me. So.
You want to see some titties?
Why did you
pull your shirt down when he said that? She was like, I want to see some.
You want to see some? I had those.
But the answer is yes. But regardless, Like, no, this is a good
This
filler.
is supposed to be a PG-13 show.
See, this is why I keep telling my coworker. She's like, "Can my kids look at this yet?" And I'm like,
"No,
not yet. I will be with you when that happens."
Game of Thrones did a little bit more than show some boobies. Game of Thrones was like low-key softcore porn for like the first 3 seasons. I was like, yeah, but HBO.
Yeah, they always do that.
Listen, I mean, it is. No, it's
I know this takes place in the books, but in the game, you have a scene where you do her on a horse. So like,
yeah, y'all like that kind of stuff.
That's funny. Did you want a horse?
Are you?
I thought you were gonna be like, did you want to do it?
On a horse? Wait a minute. Is the horse moving?
Yeah.
Look at my horse. My horse is amazing.
Why did Sassy lean back like, I have not been living my best life? She leaned back.
What kind of stuff? I'm trying to figure out how the heck this would like work.
Well, you're trying to figure out how sex works? Well, first, the mommy loves the daddy a lot. And then the mommy wants to show daddy the effect. No.
Shut up.
Witcher, are you hyped for it?
I'm not familiar with the series. I'm just like, okay, that looks fine.
What about you, Al?
I'm looking forward to seeing it, especially trying to get our fantasy on because we got so much other stuff that's going to be out there right now.
Facts.
I mean, I don't know if you guys are going to touch on the subject. They're bringing back the Golden Compass for Pete's sake.
Yeah, I saw that. I'll never forget walking into the Golden Compass, seeing the first 5 minutes of it. Me and my best friend was like, "Yep, we're not doing this." Getting up and leaving was like, we're good. I mean, I don't mind fantasy world stuff. The Lord of the Rings series, I saw the whole trilogy, enjoyed it. And then some of the stuff gets so convoluted and it's too much. Then I got to read books. Like, I've never seen a Harry Potter. I've never seen not one single solitary Harry Potter.
The movies stand alone.
Yo, bro, and that's what I get. Like,
I probably wouldn't have seen it either if I didn't grow up during its time.
I mean, the movies kind of stand on their own. You don't necessarily need to read the books together.
I mean, that's not my bag. But for those that do enjoy like series like The Witcher, then this will probably be right up your alley. Sassy, is this your type of jam?
Already know this is like Game of Booty 2 for me. So.
Wait a minute.
Like,
we're gonna produce a movie called Game of Booty, and then Game of Booty. Game of Booty. You know what? You're absolutely right. What am I talking about? Yo, what am I talking about? There is definitely a Game of Booty. If you Google Game of Booty,
I'm pretty sure something will probably come up.
Just like that Lion King one that just came out.
Game of Booty and Game of Booty 2, The Vengeance. In 3D.
Oh no, not the Lion King.
Now, okay. Once again, something not on the schedule, and we're totally over time. But Sassy, you saw The Lion King. Should people go see this movie?
It was like pulling teeth for me. Now, let me go into this and say that since the day that I found out about The Lion King as a child, I have rewatched this movie. I have reenacted the scenes running around the house on all fours like I thought I was a lion. I've been like pressed, and to this day, it's one of the only movies that I will like watch over and over and over again and not get tired of, and I know it word for word. So when they disrespected me by having that movie followed by try to have it followed by the script, but then throw their own little pizzazz in there here and there, it made me feel insulted. But if you don't feel that deeply about the movie, then you might be able to still enjoy it because apparently it's making a lot of money and people must be liking. Yeah, exactly. So
it's
to
the
people,
Lion King.
It's the Lion King, and it's trying to stay true to the original script. But I feel like for me, it's being like a day one fan. And now I'm finally seeing what other people felt like when their favorite thing is remade.
I'm sorry.
What happened?
I'm sorry.
Oh, damn.
You gotta understand something.
Dan, shut up. Stop talking while I'm talking and making Kurt laugh.
Yo, I'm sorry. No, because Sassy's spot on. Lion King was trash. I'm not a big fan of the remake, and I thought the CGI did not play well with.
Oh, you didn't think so?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it.
That part was alright to me. I like Timon and Pumbaa. They were like the
That's just the highlight of it.
You're not
Yeah.
the only person who has said that to me.
And the child who played Simba as a kid Simba did a great job with singing those songs the way that he would have did it.
I heard he was flat. Except for Timon and Pumbaa.
But they were hilarious, especially Timon, because he really fit that role of what Timon is anyway. But other than that,
now mind you, this is a callback for the previous conversation because of course now
what did Dan say?
the chat is catching up because we stream and there's a delay, so we'll be on another subject while they'll be watching the previous subject that we were talking about. Dan said about the sex on horseback. He said, "Yeah, I'm going to take my horse to the Old Town Road.
Oh my God.
She gonna ride till I can't no more."
Why'd you gotta go and ruin a good thing?
And Hassan Warren, I forgot about that. He said, "Remember, Xena the Warrior Princess had coitus." Coitus. That is a very fancy word for pumping. He had coitus on a horse. Anybody who is a warrior has had coitus on their horse. So apparently,
you're not a real warrior.
If you, I wonder if Conan has ever. I'm sure.
Oh God.
I'm sure he was a horse.
Our producer in the back looked at me and was like, "I'm sure."
Doubt his masculinity or warriorness. He had to have done it before, at least once.
Wow, now we're measuring masculinity and warrior levels based on
how you smashed on your horse. If you can punch a camel, you can smash on a horse.
Oh God!
Oh, here we go. Anytime Sean leans in, I get nervous.
No, that's perfectly fine. Actually, I'm going back to Lion King because there's something I've always wanted to say when we cover the news of this remake. I have not seen, and I don't have any hype for any Disney live action remake. Since Cinderella was boring, Aladdin, expectedly a letdown. Lion King was not.
Wait a minute, you talking about the Cinderella with Brandy?
No,
the one that came out a couple.
Sorry,
years ago.
modern remakes. Let me rephrase: modern remakes.
Oh my God, we still trying to come at you. You okay? Sure, you okay?
I disagree. I really like Beauty and the Beast. I actually like the remake better than I like the original.
Maybe because
Tough, get out.
That one seemed like it might have played it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Sean. I'm not a big fan of it.
Because
I just never liked it.
And here's the thing: it's not like this version was better. No, it was just like they don't have that life of the animation. They just come off bland and boring, and they try and make their own creative things that aren't needed. Did we need to know how Belle's mom died? No. Did we need to know a extra villain in this one movie? No. Did we need the lions to have not that much expression in their faces? We needed that, but we didn't get it.
Did we need Beyonce's extra added on bullcrap song in the middle of the movie? No. And I don't care to be Hive can try to come for me. I'll give you my address if you inbox me if you want to roll up just for the record.
Twitch, man. DCPHR remakes should only be watched by today's children. As adults, we want that old feeling.
Yeah.
Made, that ain't happening.
Yeah, that's what I was like. If you
who made that comment on Twitch?
Go see it.
On Twitch, DCPHR.
Hey, DCPHR, I think that is one of the most spot on comments because people tend to forget.
Yeah.
The cartoons are ours.
But this isn't. That's why
Listen.
I'm like, if you had no attachment, by all means, go look at it.
Because this now is that. Look, if you saw the Broadway show of The Lion King, it was
It's fantastic.
Oh well, yeah. Do yourself a
They
service.
did their own
It's-
thing. That's why it made it fantastic. If it was his own thing, but like we said, it's for the kids. So I'm letting y'all know, the older people, it ain't for us.
Take your babies and keep an open mind so you don't mess it for your babies.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be your 1990 feel good because we'll automatically, in all human beings, no matter what we do, we compare it to the original. You can't help it. Listen, I'm all for Ariel being African American in this new Little Mermaid remake. And I'm not going to go see it for me. I'm going to go see it so my little niece, who's never seen her kind of representation in movies and media, I'm gonna take her to go see that. But I love little Caucasian Ariel from the... No, I'm keeping it 100. I'm happy, But I'm one of those people who this was the original. This is what I knew. I like that. That's what I associate the Little Mermaid to. And I'm okay with this new thing, but it's not necessarily my thing, if you get my meaning. So yeah, OGs, and I'm talking about all us in the 25 to 45 age range who grew up around the 90s. Leave Disney alone and let them people make new magic for these new babies that are coming out here with these. Because I couldn't get jiggy with Will Smith being the genie. Robin Williams will be the genie for me for all time.
Aladdin wasn't bad.
Will Smith was great.
We're not doing that. We'll say that for the next show, which is the best remake of Disney. But as we get ready to close out our show, we hit the big 5-0. That means we're now impotent, and at least $50,000 worth of debt. And probably been through 2 divorces at age 50, but no, episode 50. But one of the cool things about doing 50 episodes and doing this show is we didn't expect to even be doing it this long, to hit 1 year. And each and every person in this room currently, with the exception of Alex, this is his first time on the show, but has been on the show previously and has had some of their favorite moments, things like that. And if you ever want to see any of our old episodes, go to PC Radio, Philly Coalition Radio on their Facebook fan page, because that's where we started. That was our home base for months until we moved into this new space. And they've been super awesome, and you can kind of catch a lot of our old episodes from over there. We just haven't migrated it over to our fan page. But starting with you, Sean. I mean, you've been a host. You've rocked with us at comic book conventions. You have been our touch of diversity. You are our affirmative action. So
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Well, we love you. In 50 episodes and being with us for the better part of the beginning, what's one of your favorite moments?
I think it was the first time when I saw you folks play Beat the Blurred. And it was like, because my ego finally inflated for a brief moment. I was like, I want to take him on that. And I still want to take him on.
You know what? Yeah. For those that have been watching us since we moved in this new space, we have not played Beat the Blurred in a long time. And typically,
technically not since Greater Philly Comic Con.
Yeah, and honestly, that is something that I promise. You have my word. Next episode, 51, we're bringing back Beat the Blurred, and we're going to get back to our old ways of doing that for every guest, because it would have been great to do that with Alex right now. And with Sean here, he's been wanting to challenge a brother for a long time. White man always trying to bring a Negro down. But Beat the Blurred was a staple in our PC Radio days. And we definitely going to repurpose it and bring it back. I'm going to get with Don the Magic Wand. We're going to make it something special. Tef, you have been the newest addition into our hosting pool. We have a pool of phenomenal people who kind of rotate and come on and come off. And they're like that girlfriend that you can't get rid of. Tef, what's one of your favorite moments in your time?
So I've been here about 3 months almost now.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, I started
we gotta get rid of
May,
this bug.
and it's almost August now. So,
but you were a fan of the show first.
Yeah, so I've been watching the show for months. My favorite moment on the show.
That's okay. Go ahead, because it's a new moment.
It's new. I will say. I'm so grateful and so happy to be here, to like meet you, to finally like be here and to kind of like start to get to know you, call you like my friends. Going.
Let's not go too far.
Anyway, not you.
Me and Tef have a phenomenal love-hate relationship.
Not you, Trash Bag Jones. But like being in the parade and everything, honestly, like
the Puerto Rican Day Parade was a big one.
The Parade was like fantastic. Like my basically like my coming out, like kind of like doing cosplay, like for the first time.
Out.
Yeah, so I would say that's my favorite. That's like one of my favorite moments, but definitely seeing you get a bag of candy dicks poured over your head.
Just had to bring that back up, huh?
We're
No.
Alex, you've been watching us for quite some time.
Yes.
I would love to know from the perspective of those who actually watch the show. This is your first time being on it. Tell me, do you have a favorite moment?
Off the top of my head, I would say one of my favorite moments was I ran into your show just basically looking through groups and it's like, oh, this is a group and they have a live going. Let's watch it. Oh, I can actually talk. You talking about Black Panther and Killmonger?
Yeah.
And we had that nice little longer discussion about that.
That's one of the things that we love about this show because we're actively interactive with people in the chat, live, right on air. We'll talk to you. I promise you, we are going to get phone call capabilities soon. But you know, brothers got bills to pay first. But
I just want you to know, hashtag EABD.
Oh, no, that didn't come back up, did it? Who did hashtag?
Mike and Mark.
Trash bag people. I am so mad. Yo, let that hashtag die. If y'all don't know, EABD is eat a bag of dicks. Every time I say that, I feel filthy. And I'm hoping that my mother doesn't hear it. Because y'all got me in so much trouble with my mom behind that. Yo, my mom read me the riot act. I am a 30-year-old man. And my mother was like, that's what you're doing on the radio? I raised you better than that. I was like, oh God, Mom.
My mom, who wants to come meet you guys, thought it was hilarious.
Your mom wants to meet me? I would love to meet your mom.
Oh, God.
Speaking of, because I'm horrible.
Oh, yeah.
If you reblog, if you reblog this stream with the hashtag EABD,
I hate you, Sean.
I will buy, and we will use it again on air. Got to reblog this though.
Filthy Sean going.
We're at 59 shares. If we can get to 69 shares,
if we get to 7, no. If you get to 70 shares, we're dumping a bag of dicks on Sean's head.
What? No, your head.
No, I'm not doing.
Okay, but you know I'm going to enjoy it. So like,
yes, we know, Sean. All right. Sassy, you are literally one of my all-time favorite human beings on earth. Aww. And I love you. I love you so much. Sassy, you came on as a cosplay guest. And your first cosplay was Starfire from Teen Titans. And you were this amazing, and I'm sorry, I know this is for you to talk, but I remember my impression of you was like, who is this shy girl who wants to come on the show? Okay, all right, let's have her. I'm with whatever. I don't care if you have done it, not done it. You don't have to be broadcast savvy to come on our show because this is for us. Aww. What was your first impression when you first got on the show as a cosplay guest?
When I first came on the show, well, first of all, I was like sweaty because I'm like, people were answering questions. How am I going to do this? And I'm trying to do a voice. I don't know how to do voices. So all these thoughts are going through my head. But then I started talking to you guys, and I was like, oh, these are people who remind me of people I already know. So I can get comfortable with them. And then it just made everything so much smoother.
Oh, don't make me misty-eyed, 'cause you know what's soft.
I think that was my favorite moment, was the first day that I came and I realized immediately that it was okay to be comfortable because I was in a safe space. And this wasn't a place where I was going to be judged or criticized for not doing this way. And you made me extremely comfortable because you were always like, if you need to take a break, we could do this, and I have all of this stuff, and let me know if you need this. And I'm like, he's so helpful.
This old man is so sweet. So you came on the show, you were a guest, and I remember the conversation with you, and I was like, I said, one of my biggest issues with our show initially was it was predominantly men, and it was all men, and I felt like, and
those were the shows I didn't like to watch the most, was when Sassy wasn't on. It's like the softest party.
Yeah, and that's what
I said it every single time.
But that's one of the reasons why we brought Tef through, because one of the things that we do, we listen to fans, and the fans said there is not enough women representing us on your show. If you're going to have a show, have a demographic that represents us all the time. That's why even though we consider ourselves a Blerd Talk radio show, it's not uncommon to see somebody that isn't a black person or POC. I mean, my man Javier comes in, represents for the Latinx. I'm learning.
I never even heard.
Latinx, because you can't say Latino or Latina no more. It's gender. Latinx is gender neutral. I'm learning. Sean has been a host on our show numerous times. Mandy and Rob, their family to the show. They're not black people. Shock. And one of the big things was taking it from being a male-dominated show and bringing on my sisters, who now you outnumber me for the most part. And one of the great things was Sassy was the pioneer. She will always be the queen of the HNIC. She can't nobody take nothing from my sis, because I'll pop fly on these. But what I'm saying is, when you first had the opportunity to come back and it was, okay, don't be a guest. We want you to be a part of this. How'd you feel?
I'm confused because Sassy always thinks probably a little more or less of me than I probably should. I have a bad habit with that. So I was just like, what? They want me to come back? I thought I was all right. And it was really like, it was a big thing. And then finally getting to show my mom, like, I wish I had a recording of that, because that was a glorious moment when I showed her the video of it. And she's like, she got all like teary eyed. Then she started crying. And I'm like, Mom, what's wrong? And she was like, you're gonna be famous one day. And I'm just like, I don't know about all that, but thank you.
My mom had like the opposite reaction, because I've been asking you to come on the show forever. I think I was calling in like every episode.
Yeah, and we were fed up with her trash behind, so we wasn't gonna do it. No, I'm joking.
No, but like my mom, I was telling everyone, please watch the show. Like, I think it is so great. Like, even when I was still with my boyfriend, I was like, oh, do you really want to go out Wednesday? I have the show that I want to watch.
I feel so valued.
So like it was the same thing. I was like, hey Mom, I'm finally gonna be on the show, and she was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. I was like, Mom, Kurt asked me to come back, and she's like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, get on there, and you the best part on that show, and they better have you back all the time.
Oh, well, you definitely deserve to be here. You were always being a loyal fan and making sure you called in and commented.
Yeah, and like every week, I literally was like, nah, I gotta do this. And didn't know why. Should have been paying attention doing my YouTube channel, but here I was on here, like just giving it my all, like every week, like I didn't have other stuff to do.
Yo, but see, this is why, even though big ups to Kuzo Mark, because Mark isn't here, and my man Average Joe, I know you're somewhere in the world. You know we love you. And my man Tom Moore, who all pioneered this thing with me originally, and all credits to them, because there would not be us now without them pioneering the original group. And we were just a group of friends who love, obviously, nerd talk. Me, Average Joe, and Mark have been best friends for eons. What? And then bringing in Sassy, bringing in Sassy was the right spice that we needed at the time. And somehow Tef, like a good fungus, has not disappeared despite fumigation.
Beautiful flower.
No, I'm joking. No, I mess with Tef all the time, because Tef will go right at me, and she has no problem calling me on my BS, and I don't have any, so I don't know what's wrong with her. But having her on the show adds that extra flavor. When you have people in our camp like Sean, like Javier, like my man, Big Exclusive, Shannon, and you have people who come onto the show and rotate onto the show, and they fill in these roles and these demographics, and we have representation. And then if you've been a loyal fan, if you comment, if you participate in the show, like Alex, come through. Literally half of the show is people who started as just watching it. So we integrate everyone. And this is not a show for just us. This is the people show.
Yes. It's for you.
And I can't thank this other individual who always stays in the shadows, like a good Batman should. He scowls and he stays in these dark corners and recesses of he knows who I'm talking about too. Come on, Don, get up off your chair. Come over to the mic. Come over to the mic real quick. Come on. Don the
round of
Magic
applause.
No, I want you on camera. Come on, Don. Come on, Don.
What?
What?
Like my first time going up and around here, right?
Oh,
Let's
wow.
gotta like move this and
Look,
do the joint here. Yes. It's really small over here, yo. So
Don's trying to work. He's trying to work the mic and be on camera at the same time.
At the same time, man. It's pretty bad, man.
And working the mic and being multi-talented is always a great trait in a girlfriend. Don, you came. Hype button.
Hype buttons.
Don, you came on relatively recently. You actually were one of the main ones that said, "Hey, good stream could be better," and you helped innovate HNIC 2.0. You've been with us not for the whole 50 shows, but the new generation of HNIC. Tell me, in your time with us, what's your favorite moment?
I mean,
and talking to the mic, you of all people that get to grind me up.
Shit, it's not me if you always worried about they can't hear me. So, no. I mean, show wise, I think they're all great, but I think like overall, to me, it would be when I first approached you and asked you, what exactly did you want to do with yourself and your group? And that was like back in so long ago, about like December-ish.
Yeah.
And I didn't even see an episode, so I was just like, well, what exactly do you want to do with these people, man? What exactly do you want to do with yourself? And he was like, well, I just want to do this show, put Black Nerds on the map, and everything he said he was going to do, and have his crew go to conventions and do all these things, and possibly just get a show that he gets over X amount of people. And I mean, I just told him straight up, I was like, well, with hard work and the right layouts and the right things, you can do that. And I told him, I was like, well, if you need me, I got you. And he was like, but I told him, I was like, I just want to see what you got going on. Show me that you want to do it. And he tightened up. The next like 5 shows was just tightened up. Everything was on point. Everything was spot on. And he showed me that. I mean, personally for myself, I'm just doing this as like, a service, because I've already done all this. I've already been where y'all want to be. It's not my time to shine. It's y'all time to shine. Just like I told my mom. It's like the reason why I'm back here because she has heart failure, but she also knows that I was always flying somewhere. And I told her, and I promised her, I'm not going anywhere. She's like, well, you're doing your next show again. That means y'all going to be going places again. No. They in Philly. They all local. Why are you helping them? And I was like, because he was like me. When I wanted to do this, and what you tell me, go get that, go ahead and get it. And I was like, so that's what I'm doing for him. Kid got good intentions, doing what to do. And I was like, I'm 100% behind the boy. He wants to be that. Like, these kids are really good, man. I was like, they're really good. So she started watching. She was like, they really are kind of good. They're both kind of funny. So she knows. So then she backs you, and then she even tells people, like I said, I had that cookout. She told family that didn't even know me. It was like, yo, you got this guy, Curtis, boy, it's real funny. He got this show. You got to see it on Facebook. They just go wild out. But for me, it's not so much episodes. It's just how y'all started to where you want to be, and there's a lot of work. And I can say that there's a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that
y'all have no idea.
All of us put in. So the best thing was when I asked him what exactly did he want from this. And to be honest with you guys, I don't sugarcoat anything really. He's been doing it. So that's for me. Like, he's been doing it. So goals and
we hit
TV,
no,
everything.
Dead up. Not to cut you off, Don. Don and I, when we sit and we plot out things for the show, we plot. Hold on, let me get myself together. Because we plot out. Yeah. We're what you see in front of you is not all of the HNIC. Trust me. We are a mighty army.
Most of them in chat. They in the chat right now too.
We like Bebe's kids. We don't die. multiply. We run deep, and when we plot out what we do have a purpose. We have a rhyme and a reason, and we have OGs who step in and say, "Here's the milestones we want to see for you." And so far, everybody has crushed every one of those things that we set out, to the point where our goals and our aspirations keep growing. And the best thing to see is not only to watch how we grow and how everybody supports each other. Y'all don't understand. Life is tough. Doing this show weekly, tough. There's been numerous times where people have been going through hell. And I got to keep that real, because y'all don't understand. To come on here and smile and talk about subjects and be interactive and engaging, and to know your life is literally on fire, but you wouldn't know it, you wouldn't see it, because amazing people come here and give 150% every single day, whether it be Don's mother in the hospital, God bless her, and speedy recovery, Sean going through housing issues, that's what we'll say it, Tef dealing with a beautiful son who, honestly, you know, autism is something special with me, but you can't even imagine. And Sassy,
all kinds of stuff. Just all
and her chaotic dating scene.
And all of us are broke. So, like, legitimately. And I can't, I have to give a special shout out to, number one, Average Joe and Mark.
May the force be with you.
They my best friends. Best. Stop, because I keep crying on this doggone show. I'm getting tired. I'm a thug, nigga.
Remember, we're in a time where it's okay for this to happen.
No, because they're
can be emotional.
No, y'all.
It's okay to have man tears.
Yeah, they're strong tears.
12 years.
No, because
just
they're my best friends, and I honestly love having an opportunity to share in this venture when they were able to be on, and even though we have, you know, flux and transitions, they'll always be my right hand men. But my man Mark finally jumped in the chat, so I gotta shout him out. Kozo Mark says his best moment was talking to Cass Anvar and Angelina Bamani. How did I say those names right? I can't even get Mahershala right. Yo, I ran that off with ease. Kaz Anvar and Jolly Bahini on the show before Greater Philadelphia Comic Con. So I guess my favorite moment, hands down, has to be GPCC. and that entire experience, and from nuts to bolts, having everything come together. I cussed, I fought, I cussed again, I stressed, I lost what more little hair I had on my head. We performed, we showed out. Sassy came in a phenomenal Raven cosplay. We got to be on stage with some of the best cosplayers. Big shout out to Magnus. Big shout out to Hellspawn Cosplay, Demetrius, who's doing big things as Black He-Man, Hebro, and he's killing it right now. Even bigger shout out.
I never forgot that.
Yeah. Even bigger shout out to Mandy, Katana, and Rob, who real life Peter Griffin and real life Lois Griffin, because when me and Rob get into a room, God help you, there's no way in the world you might not actually pee your pants from laughing, because what we did at GPCC really set the bar for what we're capable of. You never seen it. One of these days.
All the celebrities that gave us a chance.
Yeah.
All the celebrities are just like,
I mean, like legitimately, and getting a chance to pull all the cosplayers together for one huge sing along, and
first time ever, man.
And I have to also give special shout outs, because it's the 50th episode, to Eric the Smoke Moran, E Money, bro. I'm gonna try not to get teary-eyed again, but without you mentoring and teaching and helping and pushing us to the next level, we wouldn't be there. Super big shout out to Jay Rich from J1Con, because once again, same reasons. If not for the motivation and the push, we don't know if we would still be here. And big shout out to every Blurred Talk media outlet that's trying to do the exact same thing, because we're an underrepresented demographic. There isn't a lot of us that are doing it of a quality caliber. And I'm not saying that we're good, but I tell you one thing, we will always continue to be better. So honestly, we getting ready to wrap up the show and get up out of here. But the most important shout out is to those who actually sit and watch this god awful show. Because
there's still a
you
lot
actually,
of you. Damn, we're over.
Yo, we way over.
But you never.
But you stick around and you keep coming back because our numbers keep growing and we keep getting shares and we keep getting reposts and support our Twitch so that we can start getting paper, because this is not easy to do, but your support and just watching is everything.
Subscribe to us on YouTube and share this stream. #EABD.
Oh, see, come on now. Listen, we getting ready to get up out of here. Thank you, Alex, for coming down all the way from Atlanta. We're going to be doing D&D.
Are you coming with us to our party?
Yes.
Yeah, y'all need to come turn up with us.
That was my point of coming.
Come here. Yeah, oh, look. I love it. You see Alex look right at the booty, right? All I'm saying is we turn it up. We turn it up at Layer KTV.
At Pole, that's how we celebrate stuff.
Twerk breakdowns?
Literally. Every time you
Sassy, are you no twerking? Gotcha.
You gotta pay me first.
Oh, Cash Apper, bro. Come out Saturday. Come hang out with the head nerds in charge as we could sing our little geeky hearts out to all the styles of everything from Biggie to K-pop. Sean, any last things before we get out of here?
Honestly, come on down this Saturday to the King of Prussia Mall. Head Nerds in Charge is sponsoring a section of the You're Not Alone cosplay anti-bullying event hosted by the Real Women of Gaming, and it's from 10 to 8 p.m., which afterwards, head on over to this wonderful karaoke, momentous occasion. It is going to be a wonderful time, and you will have memories galore, good, bad, questionable, and with some photos on your phone, I'm sure.
And no, you know what? And I love the fact that, because Sean, you spearheaded this particular initiative, and as somebody who was a bully, yeah, and I've been known to be a trash bag and say inappropriate things and space. Tough, don't. I honestly,
Yeah, you were a child.
Yeah, I was terrible, and I'm still kind of terrible. But saying, learning to be better and learning to improve and to own your BS is an important part of growing and being better a part of society, because honestly, words, physical actions, and bullying ruins lives. And I just applaud you for spearheading this particular initiative. Tef, what you got to say before you get out here? You dancing on any poles? Look, I just...
Not right there.
I can't help myself. I'm sorry.
I really can't. So if you, in case you didn't already get the memo, come down and hang out with us Saturday at 8 at Layer KTV here in Center City in Philly. $25 if you want to party with us in the VIP section.
But mind you, it's food's included.
Right, it's food and drink included for.
Whoa! Food included. We not paying for these niggas to drink. Food included.
What about juice?
Everybody in here was like, "Whoa!"
I'm like, all right.
Buy your own liquor. Because you know us. We will run up a tab. Yo, real quick, I have to give a shout out to Steve Jordan. I just saw your comment, and I'm sorry. This is important for everybody here. He said nothing is awful about this show. It's raw and nitty gritty, and this is what I love about the show. That's why. Listen, comments like that is why we rock. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tev. Finish what you were saying.
So $25 to eat. Hang out with your favorite nerds. We did the same thing St. Patty's Day weekend. I don't fully remember it, but it was a great time to be had by all.
Yo, I think it's going to be a phenomenal time. Tef promised to twerk on every 5th patron that comes in, and I don't know.
Y'all gotta pay.
I don't know. I don't know if y'all seen some of Tef's videos, but money well spent.
Follow me on Instagram at Teffy1.
Here we go. Self promotion.
I posted a whole video today.
Oh, see, Lord, you get a little sample. Sassy.
Please be sure to check out my newly running Instagram page that I now have, Yokai Sassy. I post things daily with hashtags. Yay!
She like got fake teeth and licking her chops and everything. She is really trying to seduce you, nigga.
I'm trying.
You can also follow Sassy on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yokai Sassy at wait, how do you say it?
At Yokai Sassy, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know how Instagram works,
Lord
but I just
Jesus,
know
she
my
was gonna
name is
push something
Yokai
that ain't-
Sassy.
Also,
It's just Yokai Sassy on Instagram. If you put that in, I'll pop up. There
And
aren't
if you
many of
want
them.
far less sex appeal but still entertaining, my Instagram is SaintSage777.
You're a terrible person. But we love you. My final words is I miss my boys, Average Joe and McNucks. I know y'all out there, so I got to say everything that kind of wraps up for all of us. Tom, well, how do you say Nemo, the boy you love to hate. Thank y'all, because I wouldn't have been into this without y'all. And for me personally, every single solitary person that adds any form of contribution to what we do, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because number one, you do it with very little payment, very little gratitude, and I am a hard person to like behind the scenes because this is so important to me. But one of the things that I appreciate is you give everything, and it's not about me or not about you. It's not about even HNIC as a whole. It's about the people who watch us and trying to be as real and honest as possible. So I say all that to say, follow me on Instagram, King Kurt Live, F these niggas. I'm the star of the show. Ow! We out, snitches! Like us on Instagram, at Head Nerds in Charge, all one word. Like us on Twitter, like us on Twitch, and we're gonna have a Patreon where we're gonna put my nudes up there, and you should definitely pay to keep them locked, because I'm gonna make them public, and you're gonna see it every time you lock on. So you gotta pay me to lock them up. We're trying to do our best to be your favorite Blurred Talk radio show. There's other good ones, but we're trying to make our own lane. We appreciate everybody that tunes in. We getting ready to get up out of here. Down the magic wand on the wheels of steels and the ones and twos. I hope mom rests up and has a speedy recovery. Thank you for all you do behind the scenes. Tef, I can't wait to meet your mother. Oh, I can't wait to meet your mom. Sean, you're a trash bag, but you date black women, so I like you. Average Joe, wherever you are in the world, you're probably working somewhere and eating Welch's grape snacks and ordering Cokes with no ice. Just know I never liked you, and you're bald. Mark McNucks, wash that fishnet thing that you wear on your head every time you come on this, because
Knuckles and Knuckles and enchilada.
Yeah, that rag.
Mark, I love your Elmo cosplay.
Yeah. He wants to tickle you. And Sassy, thank you for being amazing, and you make a terrible succubus. Tef, I hate you. Don, get us up out of here.